Welcome to the Podcast FC show. My name is Tum. Our opening segment is powered by ZipRecruiter. It's the new year, which means a fresh start for your business. And a great year starts with making great hires. But posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites. And now you can with ZipRecruiter. You can jumpstart your hiring in 2017, post your job to 200 plus job sites, including social media networks like Facebook and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any city or industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll into ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 1 million businesses. And right now, our listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ziprecruiter.com/sportsfan. That's right, ziprecruiter.com/sportsfan. One more time to try for free, go to ziprecruiter.com/sportsfan.
Podcast FC show is brought to you by CLNS Radio. CLNS Radio, the leading online provider of audio and video coverage of your favorite Boston sports teams. Follow CLNS Radio on social media. On Twitter, you can find them at CLNS Radio. On Facebook, search CLNS Fans. That's one word, CLNS Fans. And download the free CLNS Radio app on the iOS store and Android store as well. Simply search CLNS Radio in your app marketplace.
What's the matter with you, Hussey?
Can I be in here, Al?
You in there?
Come
on over. Scoot over, honey.
Nah,
There you
I don't
go.
want to sit next
Come on.
to you.
Come on over. Let's have a conversation.
You guys are real
Bring
cute
it
today.
in, brother.
Away from
Bring
me,
it in,
man.
brother.
Chelsea
Touch
and
this blue
Arsenal.
shirt. Come
Away
here.
from me, yeah.
Rub it all over you.
Give me
PFC
a rash.
127.
That's right.
We're in here. Not sure what Al's up to. Hanging out over me.
Trying to get the camera going. Creeping.
Oh,
What's
it's
it
a
say?
reverse angle
Reading?
right there.
Reading cards.
Swap the cards. Swap the cards. That one goes in the other one then.
Come on, guy.
Either way, 127. We in here. Making it happen. I'm going to help Al swap these cards.
Shit, fool. And I'll, Tom, why don't you get us started? Let's talk about the playing the championship team this weekend. How'd that go with you?
The team that came in 10th last year.
Yeah, the team that won the year before that. Right.
It was tough, at the bridge, Arsenal against Chelsea, Chelsea against Arsenal.
Doused.
First 10 minutes, Arsenal was dominating.
It's great.
We put the full-on press on them. Luis looked nervous. Courtois looked nervous. Unfortunately, Alex Iwobi could not make the Blues pay. And after the first 10 minutes, honestly, it really all went to shit. The first goal scored around the 13th minute.
Yes, sir. By who? Hector Bellerin? Oh, no. He got in the way for that.
No, Hector Bellerin. Look, there's a lot of Arsenal fans out there.
Crunch.
A lot of
Good night.
commentators saying that this was a foul. Look, in an instance where a player is going for goal, the goal is wide open, and the only difference between you getting the goal and not getting a goal is putting your head on it. You have to do everything you can to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was a foul.
The thing is, Hector Bellerin jumped up, and Alonso was jumping towards the ball. So momentum alone, he's going to win that battle.
No, man, as a defender, that's just one of those.
It
Just one of those
happens.
things, as Huss would say. Just one of those things where you just gotta jump and hope for you take the contact, man. You take the puck.
But
it's when you slide out and block the puck, man. It's like you just gotta do it. You gotta put a body up there. You're gonna lose it probably.
You're right, and I wish
It just sucks.
Look, it was a good build-up play. First of all, because Koscielny doesn't close out Pedro quick
hold
enough.
on, wait a minute.
Okay, Koscielny had a terrible game.
I can't wait to get into the one of the best defenders in the Premier League.
Terrible
Can't wait
game.
to talk about this.
I'm
gonna wait for Tiki on that one.
A lot of Gooners had a terrible game, but specific to the first goal, he doesn't close out Pedro quick enough.
Mesut.
The ball comes in. Everyone's kind of lackadaisical and reacting as far as Arsenal defenders. And Hector Bellerin, the ball comes off Diego Costa's head, hits off the crossbar. I thought Czech got something on it.
Yeah, he had it covered at least, but he was there.
Yeah, he had it covered, but it hits off the crossbar. and Bellerin, he has to jump straight up, like you were saying, Farid.
Yeah, man.
You know what?
And throw your body into Alonso. Try to do something.
Well, Alonso's bigger, dude. He's a big
I know, he's
dude.
like 6'3" and
kind of a
something like
robot.
that.
I know. And he jumped up. He just crushed him.
I actually
Ain't no
think
kinda.
there was
Yeah.
zero even. Someone says it's foul. Well, you can go home. There was nothing about a foul about this because
You can
first
shut
off,
off this show right now.
both players,
Basically,
both
right?
players were going at an angle. Neither one was going straight up.
Yep.
Both of them. And the only thing is that Alonso jumped higher. So there was no elbow to the head or
He's also
anything.
bigger.
No, there definitely was an elbow to the head, whether it was intentional or
Well,
not.
what I'm saying is it's not a foul because the only reason why there was an elbow to the head was because Alonso was literally higher than him.
I'm telling you,
He
Alonso
leads
was
with
going
his
more than elbow.
elbow. And look,
And how do you jump up?
He's jumping up to protect himself, no doubt.
Well, you need your arms to go up when you jump. It helps.
Whoa.
Yeah,
You just break
Break a hip there? What happened?
Big
Old
crashes.
man,
Old
bro.
man bust. Yeah.
Change the tires.
You guys didn't hear that,
What are you,
but
Liverpool?
Huss's hip just cracked.
No, it was him. It was
fucking
fucking
sitting
You
down,
just,
by
you
the
just tore
way.
your Rhoda cup or something, bro.
He's gonna
You
eat
don't go.
He's gonna eat Tommy John.
Get some military presses in there, dude.
All right, it was
That
my shoulder.
comes from years
But
of
we're-
not icing after
But if we're
games.
talking about,
not stretching.
old, I mean, did Czech look a little slow on that play when he went down?
I love
mean,
Hussey shitting on him.
but 5 years ago, does Czech get up faster? Does he
For which
say
one?
that?
Obviously,
For which
dude.
one?
It's 5 years
I
ago.
know, but
Czech looked slow all game.
Yeah.
All game, man.
Especially that third
and
one.
the third goal was a double agent saboteur goal.
Nah.
Straight
Teammate to
saboteur.
So
teammate.
you saying you don't want Czech in goal next year?
Yes.
That's absurd, bro. That is
Wait, you
so.
don't want Czech?
Jesus
You know what? I want the
Christ.
roles to
Oh
cross reverse.
my
Tell
God.
Klopp. We'll take him at Liverpool.
Dude,
Yeah,
hey,
you'll take anyone, dude. Are you kidding me?
Hey, we
Mignolet.
beat you. You can beat Chelsea.
Bogdan.
You'll take anyone.
Liverpool
dude.
sucks.
Well, who are you going to put in that then?
Bro, bring in another world-class goalie.
Unless if he doesn't want to go
What
to
about
Arsenal.
Ospina's
Because you might not be in top
Ospina's
4.
good.
Ospina, look,
But Czech is better.
This is the issue. You can either elevate Ospina or you can get rid
But
of
is
him
it-
and subs and bring Czech because he's vastly experienced. Put Czech in that secondary role where he's playing every other game.
European
and
Cups.
Then buy a world-class goalie.
Would you
Will
get?
he stay there?
Man, it is very difficult.
Yeah, there's no one available, man.
No, you know what, man? It's very, very difficult. Off the top of my head, there's a dude named Leno.
the
B,
German?
B Leno.
The Brazilian,
No,
actually.
he's German in Bundesliga. You're thinking of the right guy.
All right.
Can't think of his club at the moment, but he's
He's
a
on the
very,
national team
very
too,
good
right?
goalkeeper.
Germany has like
And he's
4
young.
world-class goalies on the national team.
So that's a guy who I might look to for the future and try to really get him more experience. But
would
even
you-
then,
Would you
it's-
get him September 1st, 2017? Would you want Leno in your net? No. dude.
Well, will Arsene Wenger be there next year? We don't know.
Oh,
the question.
There's a
signs
lot
are
of
out.
things we don't know about
Wenger
Arsenal
out.
right now.
Coming up, man.
If you do get this guy, though, man, I mean, he's 24 years old, so he's young. If he's as good as he's going to be, the last 5 goals for Germany have been incredible. The last 4 number ones.
He plays for
Even-
Bayer
even the
Leverkusen,
He's at
by the way.
Leverkusen right now,
Yeah,
number 1
think so.
there.
Dude, even the number 2s are good.
Yeah.
The problem is the number 1's so good that the number 2 gets no love,
Nah.
dude. What's his name? Ter Stegen could be a number 1 goalie for anyone, but Neuer is the guy. You know,
Oliver
so-
Kahn sat for Lehman,
Yeah.
you know,
Which
which
is
was
weird.
backwards in my book, but like it happened.
weird.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Invincible.
But if you should keep Czech, man. Let him play. If you make Champions League, hopefully
dude.
you do for your sake. He plays Champions League.
Nah, sell him.
You know,
Sell him.
he's
You'll be
like
fine.
you split it.
You'll probably
You
finish
split
fourth
it.
next
And that's
year
not
or
what I'm
something.
saying. All I'm saying is Huss makes a great point when he says, could Czech have scrambled to get up quicker if it was 5 years ago? Yes, I think he could have.
Looked
And
like a turtle almost. Like, oh, shoot. Oh,
he's
on
a
his
little
back
bit slow, but there's no doubt Hector Bellerin goes out with a concussion. It was almost a UFC knockout. You ever see the guys
Yeah.
get knocked out and their arms
He
go
was
stiff?
still boxing, dude.
Yeah, and he apparently Wenger in the post-game interview said that Hector Bellerin, he was almost walking out when he was asked this question, that Hector Bellerin couldn't even remember the score of the game. So it seems like a pretty bad concussion.
I would have told him it was 1 because he didn't fucking win the head ball. That's what I would have told him.
I've been there, bro.
Yeah.
What's the
How
score of the
it feel.
game? Your fault. That's
Yeah,
the score.
that's it. And they bring
So
in
crying.
Gabriel, play right back. What's up with this Gabriel right back?
They've been
business?
plugging
Come on,
him
why
in
do you
there.
guys
say
They've been plugging him in
Gabriel?
I
there.
don't know. He's gay. I don't know. He sucks.
It's
He's on the
Gabriel,
suck
man.
11. Whatever.
Gabriel.
Guy sucks. What's his deal? Is he a center back or a right back? Are they chambers in him? What's going on? Ruining his career?
You know what?
Arsenal ruining players' careers again? Is that what's going
An
on?
Arsenal fan or Arsenal fan TV. I can't remember who. I'd give you your credit. I just can't remember who it is right now. Made a
You may
good
help
point
you?
that
Somebody?
Mustafi plays right back for Germany sometimes. So
I didn't know
why
that.
not push Mustafi out to right back and Gabriel into center back?
Yeah.
So maybe that could have been a solution. But either way, I think
Dude, I don't think
it wouldn't have mattered.
your problems didn't come from Gabriel at right back. The only thing Gabriel, I think, did severely wrong was not score that opportunity to equalize. Other than that, like, it was a quiet game.
dude.
It was it was
Oxlade-Chamberlain.
quiet until Eden Hazard showed up.
Yep.
Why you got to do that?
Because it was one of the goals of the season. It's a Thierry Henry kind of goal, man. You
Dude.
dribble from half, you body one guy, you beat Koscielny twice.
For me,
you
when I
make him
watched
do a 360.
when I
like,
saw that, I was thinking maybe goal season.
it could be. Well, this is a big game goal, so it has that to it. It has weight.
Some
But it was
terrible defending.
It was
One of the
Still dusted.
Scorpions
That's
will
a-
be goal this season,
the-
but
yeah.
this goal was a special goal.
Yeah.
Look, the goal was a good goal, but I chalk it up to weakness, man.
He beat 3 defenders.
Dude, but he beat defenders. He didn't beat them with any kind of move. He beat them because the defenders were weak. Koscielny on that first attempt loses the header. Hazard gets the ball, starts his run. Koscielny did this weird little toe poke attempt.
It's like inside,
Lets him
outside.
go.
Yeah.
And then that's when Coquelin comes in. Coquelin should have pulled the fucking Jack Rodwell. That's why I didn't have any beef with that hit last week when he swung at the dude's knees,
Oh my
swinging
God.
for the fences.
Take the yellow.
That's what Coquelin should have done. And
Take
he
the
tried
yellow.
to kind of foul him, but
Didn't
not
commit.
really.
Didn't commit, bro.
dude.
Remember,
And
like
you're
the
the number
number
6.
Remember
Slide
two
that one.
episodes?
What's
Two
your job?
episodes
You're good
ago?
for a yellow or a red.
We're saying
That's
Eden
your job.
Hazard's body bounce is like 99.
Yeah, it's 102, bro.
You're not really gonna go shoulder to shoulder with him.
No,
bro.
man. And he's got momentum. Your center backs don't have their shape. What else do? You swing for the fences, take that guy out, make sure he goes down. Coquelin goes in half-ass, a number 6. Imagine Conte went in like that. Like, it's just unacceptable.
It's demoralizing, is what
It's
it is.
demoralizing.
Conte would have
dude.
got there and intercepted the pass.
And then, not to mention, all of a sudden, Hazard now is back to one-on-one with Koscielny. Koscielny, all he has to do is not give him line, but shadow him towards his
No.
right foot on the line,
Listen,
kill his angle.
At some point, you have to make a tackle. He backs up till he's in the 6-yard box.
And
The
here's
problem is
thing
when he backs up, he's afraid of the cut inside.
And this
That's
is why
what
it's a
he's-
comedy of errors.
He's a
'cause
righty.
he has a defender.
He's a
He has a
righty.
defender inside.
Why are you going to give
show
him?
him
But
outside.
Shoulder Mustafi's right behind him. He should be
Yeah.
screaming, "Step, Koscielny, step up and make the tackle.
You gotta
I got your
communicate.
back. If you miss, I'm right here." So the lack of
no
of
time- there's
communication.
no time
There's
for that,
Francis
dude.
Coquelin getting
So
bodied.
fast.
There's a
lack of
comedy
heart and aggression,
errors,
man. There was
bro.
no aggression to get that.
But
ball
you know
off
what the
Hazard.
difference
He
maker.
brought him
This
into
goal,
the goal,
this
you
goal
know?
would not have happened if Arsenal were playing the way they should have been playing. With tempo, with passion, with urgency.
heart, man.
Well, as
Yeah.
soon as
You
as
know?
the first goal went in, our heads dropped.
Yeah.
Matchup of the game for me was N'Golo Kante putting Mesut Ozil in his pocket.
Jesus.
So
Well,
Dude,
dude,
Mesut
it
Ozil-
wasn't difficult,
He was
dude.
nowhere to
Like,
be found.
I'm
Yeah.
just
It
saying.
wasn't difficult.
I'm just
Dude,
saying the
Kante-
impact this guy has, bro.
Conte has did it
Unbelievable.
to Pogba. He's doing it to Mesut Ozil. This dude,
He's the best.
hands down.
I
You look
know.
at Leicester.
best.
Hands down. There's no
jersey.
more debate, man.
Yo, remember when I
Conte
was
was
shitting on
that
Farid
dude.
with like the top 10, including Conte?
Conte's in, bro.
I don't know, bro.
Wake the fuck up.
I don't know, bro.
Don't
He's
sleep.
over all of
Who's
dude.
better?
Dude, he's only
Who's
lost.
better than him at this
He's
defensive
only
midfield
lost
role?
6 games in his top flight career. 6
in like-
games.
Yeah, I
2
heard that
years?
stat,
Yeah.
man.
He
Because
is the
Leicester,
best
yeah.
at his position. I know there's a Turo Vidal
World
out
class.
there.
He's Claude McLean on
There are other
steroids.
guys. He's
guy does not
the
lose.
best at what
Yeah.
he does.
No, he's.
But he had
Irreplaceable.
14 interceptions last game.
Uh,
14.
and
Not
then
against
he-
Arsenal, against week before.
No, I think it's 14 tackles.
There's tackles?
Because they brought up Stephen Reed, I believe, who had more than him with
love Stephen
Southampton. But yeah, 14
It was like the
Reed.
first time
tackles.
since 2001
Yeah,
or something, right?
Exactly, that's 14
Yeah.
tackles.
you guys transitioned way faster than I want.
Before we wrap the goal, are you gonna talk about the goal?
Yeah, I was gonna talk about the goal.
All right, cool. Go.
So,
goal?
just like how we talked about like Liverpool last week or the week before, where people weren't running back.
Liverpool.
If you
Shitpool?
no, but is Ox one of the fastest players on that field?
Yes.
He
Yeah.
played.
He was
He
jog-
played defensive midfield.
He was jogging when Hazard was making that run for that goal.
You know why?
Coquelin missed
You
the
know-
tackle, and he was jogging.
You know
You know
what?
why? Go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
No, I understand that you have faith.
Three.
No, I
there were
understand
3
your faith.
Arsenal defenders. The
Dude,
reason why I was jogging is
yeah.
like, all right, I'm just gonna
We
track
got
back
cover.
for the cross. That's most likely what he was thinking. Hazard's gonna take the ball out wide, cross the ball. Coquelin gets bodied because Koscielny gets turned inside out prior to that.
There's
And
three
then-
guys behind
and then
the ball.
even then, there's
3 guys.
Mustafi behind Koscielny with the final shot. So I wouldn't go hard on Ox with that goal.
It's plain
It
and
was a 3-on-1.
simple. Koscielny and Koch fucked this whole thing up. It's that plain and simple. Yeah, Oxlade could have anticipated that, Hazard, but just running in a line with no stepovers would beat 2-3 guys. So I hear you.
But when you see
Wijnaldum did the same thing. Like it just.
Except he was trying to get back.
But when you see,
he got roasted.
You know what? That's
when
true.
you see maybe the best player in the league going at a defender, you run. You sprint. Even if you don't think you're going to make it, you try to get back.
And
you try to help
that's
out.
your opinion, Hussey. The facts are it was a 3-on-1 defensively.
And
that's all I'm saying.
So when he cuts the ball back,
when
he cuts the ball back, he goes right. But if he goes to the left, I mean,
Mustafi's there. Mustafi's there.
No,
When he goes to
Mustafi's
the
still
left-
going. He's still going straight. He's still going into the 6-yard box.
Look, I hear you, man. I hear you.
I just like.
I don't blame Ox for any of
If
that.
anything, Ox was probably Arsenal's best player on the day, and Arsenal really didn't have that many.
I'm just
good
talking about that
players.
one play. I'm not talking about the whole game.
He's the
got
guy who
passion.
set.
He's got passion.
He almost set up an assist for Gabriel to get that header. He should have headed it down. He was playing in a position in which he's not that familiar in playing at the top flight, playing center midfield.
Who?
So Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Killed it.
So he was playing pretty
He's
decently.
a footballer,
man.
though.
Yeah, he was
But
playing
he's
pretty
just
decently.
He's just not very strong for me for a player you want in that position. I don't know. I feel like you want someone like at Chelsea to have 2 strong guys that play central.
I'd love him at number 10. I'd love him as a number 10 who tracks
Well,
back.
further up the
I would
field.
Like an Oscar
I could-
initially,
you
like
know
a
what?
guy who can play but
He
tracks
could be
back.
an 8. He could
He
be
could
an
be.
8.
He
He
could
could be
be.
an
Yeah,
8.
bit of a box
I
to
think
box.
that's
like you're saying.
well. That's why you bring in a guy that's better than the weak ass Coughlin there. That guy sucks.
Well, we do have
let's
Shaka
talk-
the
let's talk
Destroyer.
about
but-
someone.
But just
Shaka
to-
the red
guys,
card
oh,
machine.
Exactly. Probably
That's
the guy.
true.
Before we wrap the
He's our
goal,
guy.
I just want to give what am I trying to say here?
Shout out.
Praise.
Shout out, but contention for
mention.
celebration of the season, Antonio Conte.
Oh my God! When he
After
goes
that
into
second goal,
into the fans.
how do you not love this guy?
He's
Scores a
beast,
goal
dude.
like that. After that second goal, bang, that's game.
Did you
Like,
see-
that was
he knows he
and
won the
knew
league
it.
right there.
Yeah,
he
he
knows.
Jumping into
he
the
knows.
crowd surfing though, it was hilarious.
Did you see when he grabbed his assistant coach?
Yeah.
Grabbed him by the scruff of the neck, was shaking him, and he's
was
like grabbing him,
crazy.
screaming at him, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Threw him down the line. He's like, get going. The guy's like, oh yeah, sorry,
Yo,
sorry.
what's Arsene Wenger doing? Just standing there, long
He's got
coat,
the Bluetooth.
down to his
Yeah,
ankles,
He's got the Bluetooth
not
sitting and he's
moving.
Sitting all warm.
Let's
Like,
talk about
no emotion.
how Welbeck does not start again.
Dude, this
I
guy's
mean, not again, but he brings him in the 70th. Come on, he should be starting.
This is the guy you were talking about, the dynamic guy you're looking for. Is he, world-class striker? No. But is he good enough to get you over the finish line? You play him and Sanchez next to each other.
Speed.
You can even and power
And
with
power.
Welbeck.
Oh yeah, speed and power in both.
So you
And
can
I
even
love-
interchange him, have Welbeck play number 9 a bit, then rotate Sanchez in that number 9 and put Welbeck on the wing. He can do work.
Instead, we're
90th
starting a 20-year-old Alex Iwobi who has been special.
He's been hot.
He's been
Yeah.
special. He just scored against Watford, right, to make it 2-1. But who are you playing against? Who's the enemy? Who is your opposition? Are they physical? Are they a smaller team? Who are you playing against? Alex Iwobi can't be starting every single game for Arsenal.
If you want him, just even put Welbeck in for
Whoa.
Walcott. But the
Time
thing
out.
is, Welbeck just scored 2 goals and got an assist in the last game. He just came back from injury.
Yep.
He has the momentum. He has the hot hand. You throw him on the field.
And he didn't
can
play him
beast
against
people.
Watford, right? So you rested
you
him against
rested him,
Watford.
yeah.
So why were you resting him if you were going to put him in
you
his
should have
70?
played it.
decision.
You should have played him so he could have
Coach's
balled out versus Watford, scored a hat trick again, and then he comes into this game. I scored 6 goals in 2 games. I'm going to score another, at least one.
And
So
either way,
it's
he's
just
a-
the wrong mentality.
he's a
And he's
ni-
but like Welbeck, I can understand. He's coming back from injury. Like I wouldn't play him back to back either. But Walcott,
He started Walcott, but Walcott was so quiet. He was
Dude,
just
there's
another
nothing-
guy
look,
he's cold.
against Cahill on that playing at left center back. You should have taken him on a lot more, but Marcus Alonso tracking back helps. What was happening was Alonso Chelsea was sitting in a shell. And
They were sitting
What else-
5
what
and
else
up.
is
and they were
there?
playing, they were playing counterattack.
go on Chelsea,
Counterattack football.
park the
And
bus.
It worked.
That's all you gotta do, bro.
Dude, wait, Ox, you were saying Iwobi shouldn't start every game.
Not every single game, bro. Not every single game. Just like Rashford and Martial shouldn't start every single game. You should rotate them, okay? Yeah, I agree. I never said they should start every single game.
Nah.
What I said was they need to play more. And the amount that Alex Iwobi is playing, it depends on your
think-
competition. Bro.
I think Walcott should have been out for this one. It should have been Welbeck for Walcott. Iwobi, in those tight spaces, you need creative. Like you said, Chelsea's sitting in a shell. You're not going to out-sprint him. Why? Because it's too deep, and they're too athletic. So having a guy like Walcott, who's speedy, I don't think was effective, man, because they're sitting with those fullbacks too, the wing backs. So Walcott doesn't have that much space behind.
But he
You
got
get a-
criticism, Wenger that is, got criticism for not starting Walcott against Watford, who scored a hat-trick against Southampton.
Yeah, but it's the matchups again, right? But
So he shouldn't
be
have played him again,
responding.
though. He should have benched him again and played Walcott then. Or
Welbeck.
See, I think the two W should have started Welbeck and Walcott, and then you have Sanchez in the middle. I'd be fine with that, just because those players have Premier League experience. This is really Alex Iwobi's first season, beginning to start every single game or playing mostly every single game. I love the kid. Don't get me wrong, I love the kid, but he's 20 years old too. What is his stamina tank at? Is he gonna run for you 90 minutes? He was busting his ass, but man, like there's certain teams, and I just think that Wenger got the player selection a little bit wrong in this game.
Again.
Well, and you can't change formation. You don't want to do that.
What's that
You
about?
might win.
What's that about? We stick with the exact same formation. What's that about?
Even when other teams change. I mean, I understand you want to play your way. And you want
He's trying to create his own school of football, his own philosophy, but he can't deviate because this is the school and we don't deviate from the textbook.
Perfect example. Man United today play against Leicester City away from home. They Jose Mourinho, he's a guy who wants to play his way, right? But he decides, you know what, we're gonna kind of start in a 4-4-2 today, and then we might transition to a 4-2-3-1. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with switching it up a little bit?
Does Arsene know the word transition? He's not going to transition to anything. It's just going to be set in stone. This is what we're playing today, boys. And he can just go take a nap in the stands.
They used to play 4-4-2. They used to play 4-4-2. They play with Bergkamp
making jokes
and Henry
now,
up top.
Hussey.
They would play 4-4-2. Perez was a left wing,
No Perez?
But they...
Yeah, dude, come on. This guy sucks, man. He's the worst manager in the Prem. Worst manager in the Prem.
Hey, who scored for Arsenal? Oh, wait, Giroud. Again. Coming off the bench. Again.
Bro. Yeah, he didn't score last game.
That's what he's in the team for. You play Welbeck. I like the Welbeck-Sanchez shout. If you play those two, you can interchange them.
So
halftime
dynamic.
you can switch. 70th minute, switch
And
them back and
Welbeck,
forth. But then 90th minute comes around. Yo, we're still losing or something. All right, Ju, come on, son. Until he wants to leave. And keep bringing him off the bench.
I was fine with the Giroud super sub. I like the fact that we put Alexis center forward because when we first beat Chelsea 3-0 in 2016, Alexis was starting up top. So I wasn't mad at that.
But that's a tough thing, man, is that you got to evolve, man. Conte's a tactician. Alexis probably had the worst game I've seen him have all year.
Dude, no shots on target.
But that's the tactic, man. Wenger tried to go again with that Alexis back at number 9, and they were fucking ready for it.
They were so ready.
They were ready.
What do you think about
predictable?
Ozil?
How predictable is Arsenal? Ozil. Okay, I look at the commentator said this, but he looked at the two number 11s, Pedro's work rate versus Mesut Ozil's work rate, right? But all right, we understand Pedro, the kind of player he is naturally. He busts his ass.
That's not fair, man.
Let's look at Eden Hazard's work rate. He was busting his ass defensively in this game. Say what you want, but he was getting back
in the middle,
making tackles. Yeah. Whether the formation lends itself to that attributing to his work rate, okay. But either way, he's known Hazard for a player who might slack off defensively. Not in this game.
You know what I think makes Hazard world class, man, is that he shines in these big games. So he's the type to play lazy against Watford and not drop back and cover. And luckily Chelsea are good enough to have players to cover Hazard's quote-unquote
the
laziness.
Covers now.
That's what I'm saying. So last year it didn't work because Mourinho needed 10 guys all doing their job for the system to work. This year you even saw an interview. I saw an interview with him and Henry. Henry was saying compare last year and this year, what's the difference? Exactly. He's like, offensively, now we actually work on them. And you could see it at United. At times, it's very hit and hope. Like we were all saying, they bring on Fellaini. I think Mourinho's more of keep our defensive shape. You guys know what to do when we get the ball. That kind of manager, which is fine.
There's no specific way to go on offense.
Exactly. Hey, when we have the ball on the left, I want the right midfielder doing this. I want you tucking in here, you stretching. Guardiola focuses on that. When we have the ball, fullbacks tuck in. We overload the middle.
And there's balance coaches, defensive coaches, and attacking coaches.
Exactly.
So I feel like Guardiola's more scientific, man. He's like, you get the ball here, then you do this, then you do that, blah, 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 A, B, C, D, E. Where Mourinho's like, you get the ball here, you should be able to score from this position. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Make something happen.
And if you do it, you're my best friend. If you don't do it, I'm going to sell you.
So Conte is the type of guy who gives these guys all scenarios. Okay, Sanchez is playing number 9. This is how we deal with it. Okay, when Walcott tries to break because Alonso got caught upfield, Conte, this is where I want you. Matic, this is where I want you. Matic looked world-class again.
Dude,
he looked absolutely world-class. He's absolutely back.
He's a brute. But this was the game for him, right? In center midfield, you're playing against Oxlade, Coquelin, who gets bodied by Hazard. So this is a game for a brute like that.
But either way, he's liable for giving the ball away at times, for making shitty passes. Dude, he was on point.
What did Conte do? Conte, not scared to take a man out of the lineup.
you sit for a couple of games.
You figure things out.
You sit down, think about what you did. You scold him like a child. Mesut Ozil, he's a guaranteed starter. Wenger does not have the balls to take. And what did I say in our group text? If we're really going to play by who's playing well, who's playing badly, Mesut Ozil needed to come out, and I thought Theo Walcott needed to come out at the time. No way he takes Mesut Ozil.
Dude, when he did sub off, man, he wasn't even sweating. Like, he wasn't even tired.
When we brought up Welbeck, I was wondering if we should actually take off Ozil. Iwobi goes to the middle and put Welbeck on the left.
I like that.
Because how much
you're
speed?
Losing.
I mean, well, think about it. You have Iwobi, Welbeck, and Walcott behind Sanchez going against Aspie, Cahill, Luiz.
I think you need that kind of
the
speed.
problem is that, man, the problem is that this dude had the most assists last season.
No, I understand the problem with that.
He's added more goals
part.
this year, so we have to be fair to him. But
this is what comes with it. That's the problem, is that this is what you get with Ozil. He did it at Real Madrid. You know, he's gonna maybe do it at Barcelona when he goes. This is just what comes with him. You know, he's just got that lazy, especially in the big games.
Who's the manager? Who's pushing him?
But who was pushing him at Madrid?
I argue,
you know what I mean?
Jose was one of the guys. I argue that he was at least working harder at Madrid, and he knew that if he didn't bust his ass, there's James Rodriguez behind him, there's Angel Di Maria behind him, there's someone who's going to take his spot. At Arsenal, he's a guaranteed starter.
Yeah.
He gets whatever he wants. He wants Jack Wilshere's jersey now for next year. He's probably going to get that too. Like, there's no one to stop him from being lazy.
I see Ozil kind of pulling a Hazard last year, where the year before he did unbelievable, where Hazard was player of the year. Then last year he just took a nap. He was moody.
And what was wrong with Chelsea last year?
Well, actually,
right.
I don't know if it was the manager. I don't know if it was the manager or the players. It was both. It was both.
But what happened? Because when you take the manager out, you don't know if it was the manager or the players. I'll answer that for you. You take Jose Mourinho out, insert Antonio Conte. What's going on now?
It was not just him.
But the
it's
tough
also
argument with that is that the year before they had Jose. You know what I mean? So it's definitely the manager, but it's also kind of the play. That's why there was a lot of heat with Fabregas. But there was a bit of a mutiny in the back.
But half the team wasn't starting last year. Luiz, Alonso, Kanté, Moses, Pedro. That's 5 players right there that weren't starting last year.
Pedro was.
No, he wasn't starting last year.
Maybe he played.
I thought he was coming off the bench.
No,
he did
playing.
both.
Okay. He didn't do well.
Then 4. 3 out of the 4 midfield were not playing last year, or even on the team. I think Alonso was on the team, but Moses and Kanté weren't.
Huss, I think you're right. I think I'm right. I think my bro's right. I think it's a balance.
I think
of
Chelsea's
both.
right.
But
Chelsea is right because they won. But here's the thing that I think we're overlooking. If you watched the full 93, 95 minutes or whatever of this game, the main thing that concerns me is that Arsenal gave up. There was a certain point in time when we're 2-0 down, especially when after that Hazard goal, players were walking. Ozil.
And when Kurt Zuma threw the scissor out there, like, you guys quit, right?
Dude, yes. Golden rule. You give the ball away. What are you supposed to do?
Stand there and watch them.
Be the first.
Are we at Arsenal?
Please elaborate.
Be the first to win it.
You're the first to win it. On too many occasions, I saw Ozil give the ball away. His body language was shit. I didn't see really many other players do that.
He's just trotting around the field.
But there was a certain point in time where we gave up, and that's the part that's most concerning.
Scary.
That's the part where I think we need to change the manager because we need different mentality. The same old will continue.
Louis Van Gaal shit.
It will.
Yeah, there's no motivation.
It's Louis Van Gaal.
But with Chelsea right now, did they win the league this weekend?
No.
Yeah.
They're only 9 points clear.
Yes.
Only 9 points clear, and Tottenham's hot. You don't know.
Look, you don't.
It's a lot of
you
time,
don't know
dude.
if I'm a betting man, I'm going to say yes, but like to your point, there's 14 games left.
Absolutely not.
14 games left. All Chelsea has to do is draw a couple games, start to have question marks. Luiz goes down with an injury.
I was about to say, let me say this, barring injury.
God forbid, man.
Barring injury, and you guys have been doing,
but
that's something
even
that,
so,
like,
we have depth.
with Leicester,
You do.
But
something
will it
that they
be-
didn't bring up?
Why not?
Injury, dude. If no one gets injured, you win.
That was Leicester last year. No one
Yeah.
got injured.
Yep.
No one got suspended. No one got injured.
Right.
There was
I mean,
no AFCON.
They
There was
won.
nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, Conte took over the team with the most depth in all of England, but it's only because they brought in a Kanté, but he also gave a shot to Alonso.
Conte.
Yeah. He gave a shot to Alonso and Moses. That's the thing.
Dude, that's
Well, I mean,
where
that's
that's where
not-
I
that-
give him full credit, man. This is not his team. He inherited a good team, but he also inherited a team that didn't believe in themselves.
Had holes.
And he flipped the system after that spanking at Arsenal, and it's been right ever since to bring back a guy from the dead like Moses, a guy who every year was going to probably end up just getting sold to a Sunderland,
I disagree when you say this isn't his team. I understand what you're saying in the fact that he didn't make the majority of signings on this team. But I'll tell you why it is his team. Because he did bring up a Moses and that spanking at Arsenal that you brought up. After that, he was like, okay, I give you your chance. I tried the 4 in the back. I try to work with you and what's comfortable for you, no more. This is my team.
Now we do it my way.
I'm the coach. We're going to do it my way. 3-4-3, 3-5-2, call it whatever you want it. Ever since he made that decision to play his way and stay true to what he knows, it's his team. It's his team now,
In the 3 major leagues in Europe, Italy, Germany, and England, all the teams in first place have an Italian manager. Shout out to Italians.
Tactics.
Dude, that's all it is, man. And we talk about the Serie A being boring, it's like, oh yeah, we watch all the EPL games. It's like, oh, you take a nap in the afternoon, sleep through those games. But you know what? Like, to your credit, you always shout out about how you love that league and
who won last year?
Tactics, man.
Who won last year?
Leicester.
What about him?
Ranieri, isn't
Ranieri.
He's Italian.
Yeah,
he's a Tinkerman.
yeah.
He's Italian.
Why'd you looked at me
He's
weird?
the tinkering Italian.
He's the Tinkerman.
That's
Who
right.
won the year before that? Oh, it was Jose. I was thinking Mancini way back.
No.
That's a
Who won like 10 years
rewind.
ago? It was a Frenchman.
10?
Well,
You know what year it is?
10 plus
Yeah,
years.
I was gonna say,
It's
bro.
2017.
It might be
10
15
plus,
years
yeah,
at this
yeah.
point.
10 plus
It feels like...
Let's wrap this one up. Man of the match.
Please. You know what, man? He didn't score a goal. He didn't get an assist. But N'Golo Kante shut everything down. And I got to give
top
Farid
10,
props.
top 10, bro.
He's the best player at
Be a
his
BP
position.
I hope they give him, if they win the league, I hope they seriously consider him BPL for the BPL Player of the Year.
He set the tone in the first 5 minutes when Alexis had the ball, was
Tried to
cutting in
stunt.
on his right. He just stomped, just
Give me
cut
that.
him out.
Dude, he's just so patient.
Yes.
He gets there so fast, and he's like, I'm just going to wait till you make a bad touch. Boom.
And he's so quick. He reacts to your touch so quick. That's why it's so hard to beat
He's
this
so
guy.
little.
Yeah.
And he never stops running. The guy, 90th minute, he's still sprinting across the field, chasing,
He's the man. And now he's adding long balls to his game. If he can get his range
If
passing,
he can learn how to
if
fucking
he
shoot
wins
the ball,
If he wins that ball and all of a sudden knocks in Pedro with a long ball through ball,
He's
it's
going to
over,
Barcelona.
he's not Cesc.
That's the next
Yeah.
level.
He's got a decent ping.
He does.
Like,
Yeah,
he
but
could-
I'm
he
saying,
could-
like, if you get it, like, on point, like, oh, shit, like, Conte, like, you have to, like, when he wins the ball, you have to cover
you
him.
gotta close him down.
You
Yeah,
know what,
like,
that's-
like Matic is starting to do.
That's what I like about when they bring in Fabregas. They take off a winger and they play like a 3-5-2, and all
Yeah.
Matic and Conte do is win the ball and give it to Fabregas. That's
And then
all they
he
do.
goes
Where's
either
Fabregas?
off the
Where's
top
Fabregas?
or-
Just
yeah.
let him pass it. Let him pass it. Let him pass it.
He's the pass master.
Oh,
How
dude.
could we forget the Petr double agent goal? Just
Dude,
gives
that-
it
that-
to Fabregas.
that
Ex-Arsenal
chip-
scoring an ex-Chelsea.
That chip didn't even hit the.
It was
It
in the
didn't
air.
bounce. It didn't bounce.
Hit the camera. It was a classic. It was a Jimmy Ballard challenge. Hit a volley. Don't
Jimmy
don't-
B.
don't hit the
Camera.
ground.
Yo, and hit the camera. You got to hit dead center. Unbelievable.
That was a beautiful goal.
Well,
bro.
my man-
no
my man-
celebration too. Good to see the respect.
Yeah, that was class.
Well, fuck him because I got no respect for him.
So
But
My
I
man of the
see-
match is Marcus Alonso. Guys just having a great season.
Fuck that guy.
Scoring goals, crushing people,
Gotta pick him
playing
up.
great defense.
No.
I got Hazard, man, for that
Class.
the game killing goal. Like the defending was pretty shit, but he didn't do anything and he dribbled from half and scored. Like that's how good he is.
He just
Like
cut. He just
he
cut.
didn't do
back and
anything
forth.
and he scored from half.
He like shot it
Nuts.
into the ground.
Yeah, he
No.
kicked
Get
it.
it up.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I don't know
man.
if I
Kinda
could-
duffed it?
I think he duffed it and got a little lucky. But that's how good this
That's
guy
like his
is.
shot,
Is
though.
that we
He
have
does that
this
all the
debate.
time.
Yeah.
If Hendrick does this, if Dini does this, we're not
Intentional.
debating. You know, but because he's so good, we're like, maybe he did it on purpose.
It's craziness.
my man of the match, Hazard. I was thinking about Conte, but he's the Neuer. Hazard, he's the destroyer. He
How
just.
long were you thinking about that rhyme?
Jesus, I'm waiting for it.
No, I
Oh
can't.
my
no.
god, yeah, right? He
just-
wrote it down like
No, legitimately, it just came. I was like, oh, he annoys
kill
him.
him.
Oh,
It
it
just
destroys
came.
it. Oh, wait,
That's what she said.
Yeah.
It just came.
Just
Come
on.
on to the next beating. Bussington's boys.
yo!
Hull City.
Shit!
Come on, you Tigers!
Shit, pull.
You See, you're so
What is
lucky.
wrong, bro?
You're so
Dude, we
lucky.
need
What has
Mane.
happened?
We need
Tie
Mane.
Chelsea.
Well, if we had
We need Mane. If we
a
had
Lallana,
the Coutinho, the Lovren, the Mignolet,
maybe we could have won.
the Klopp,
The club or the club?
the crap.
Oh,
Anytime
you're
Chelsea
so-
lose.
He can't even say anything. I love it. That's a win. That's a win.
Just to shut you up.
Zlatan sucks.
You were so lucky Chelsea played Arsenal, man. This should be the biggest news of the week. Klopp should be in the spotlight, catching heat, dodging bullets.
Full strength, by the way. Full strength.
You
No
guys,
excuses.
you guys sounded
No
pretty
excuses.
intelligent when you were listing off all those Liverpool guys. Well, I see. The thing is, Liverpool really has to change something up, as in the
goalie.
press. The thing is,
The coach.
There's no
no.
legs.
Oh, come on,
The
get outta
defense.
here. To say the goalie, relax.
The
All right,
goalie's true.
So if you want to go back to the Gagent press next year full time, that's fine because you'll bring in 4 or 5 plays. But right now the team is gassed. They can't run. And then again, Emre Can starts the game. Why? I know Wijnaldum does not have the best away record.
Because he's nasty.
We,
You know how?
there's 2 things that have changed
That's so
since
sad.
they've been going on this slump.
Do you have Jordan Henderson? How are you guys not the best?
No, listen. There are 2 things when the losing started. Mane went to Africa, and Chan started playing.
Chan was playing
So
since
it's
like
Africa's
November,
fault?
bro.
Is that what it is?
Chan's been playing
Blame
for
it
a
on
while.
Trump.
Blame it on Africa.
Dude.
Fine, Rens.
Dude, just try to take him off the field and put Wijnaldum starting. Just
He hasn't
try
been
that.
using
Just
subs.
try.
He hasn't been using subs
Well, he
either,
used
Huss.
3.
Well,
He
hey,
finally
where's
used 3.
Coutinho been? What's he doing these days?
Dude, Coutinho's
He's-
killing my fantasy, man. He had, 2...
He's not ready yet.
Almost
shots.
2 clear
He's not
cuts.
ready yet.
And he had
He's
5
sloppy
shots,
right now.
dude.
He's almost there, man. He scores 1 or 2 of those. It's a different game.
How's
All of a
Firmino
sudden,
doing?
the confidence is there.
Firmino sucks, bro.
All right, here's
Worst fantasy pickup all time. I'm glad I dumped him
This
like
is-
a
I
month
had him
ago.
like weeks.
2 months ago.
The big
do
thing
it.
is
Those Liverpool
it's the
defenders.
same
Oh
old,
my
same
God.
old that we talked
Yo,
about.
Matt.
Mignolet just came off a good game, making good saves or whatever, and then
What I say 2
And
weeks?
then
What I
come-
say 2 weeks ago?
Well-
Cross the ball into the box, you'll score a goal.
Right.
Ball in the
You're
air.
right.
What's gonna happen?
What do I say about Mingale all the time?
Can't hit ball in the air.
high, low, low.
Inconsistent.
Dude, it's not you. Everyone
High,
says
low,
that. Everyone
lows.
says
High,
that.
He never hits a medium, and that's the worst thing about
I got him!
Destroyed.
Destroyed!
Oh my
Destroyed!
Catching a beating.
So, anyways, if Oliver Kahn is in goal, no, listen.
Okay.
What happens to that ball
He punches
and that player?
He punches his head off.
One hand for the ball, one hand for the face.
punch his head off.
Don't let anyone in your box.
Look,
Look,
if
if
you're
you
not-
close those
look, if-
fists, you hit the ball out, and guess what? You club it.
If you're not gonna win-
give him a Bellerin.
If you're not going to win the ball, you gotta clean the man out as a goalie.
When's the last time you saw a goalie commit a penalty kick for punching a
Never.
player in the head?
No, but if you're
Never.
going in
I don't remember
with
ever
both
seeing
hands
it.
together and you get the ball and you
win
get
the ball.
forehead.
Fine. Even if you
it's
miss.
one,
yeah.
I don't remember ever seeing a referee award a penalty kick. I'm sure it's happened, but it hasn't happened
not
in
common
so
enough,
long.
yeah.
So take his head off.
Goalie's
Exactly.
ball.
Take his head off.
Rip his
don't-
head
And
off.
guess what? He's not going to come at you next time.
Rip his
Because he
head
might-
off.
First off, he might be off the field. He might be injured, so bye-bye. Or he's
Ryan
thinking,
Mason.
he might be going, oh, crap, I can't do it like that again.
Yeah, he's scared because it's your box.
Yeah.
Because you claim it.
And Mignolet, just
Man,
come
this,
on.
De Gea had a
drink some
pro-
testosterone or something. I don't know.
Drink.
I don't know.
Drink some
Inject
semen?
it. I don't know how you.
Crust?
What
What are you drinking, bro?
I just had my shake, guys. Just had my shakes.
Testosterone.
Huss got the
Whatever, yeah,
testosterone
things
line
like-
up back there.
Like steroids.
I always
whatever.
knew.
Meet me the
Whatever.
I always
best.
knew.
Just
I always
grow
knew
up here
Huss.
and hit the dude. Jesus Christ.
From the back?
Hey.
Hey, as long as the ball doesn't go in the net, I don't care.
So destroyed.
Dude, either way,
Either way,
on that
Liverpool
goal-
sucks, dude. Either way, they suck. They're playing Hull City, who just came off a big game, tying Man United. And,
Dude,
and
Hull
now-
City on the run of their lives.
But
different
they've
team.
had their managers. It's working. You know, they've changed their system a little bit. He's brought in some new players. Snodgrass is out, so they've had to replace players.
Africa came back for you, bro.
I mean-
Dai and Niasi
No,
score.
to be fair,
That's the AFCON.
to be fair, if Hernandez is still on the field and Niasse isn't, we still have a chance to tie like United did because Hernandez messes that up.
Oh, yeah, you got-
Niasse
you're
got
not
that.
United.
It was the
Them all.
same exact thing.
You're not
It's
United.
actually, Niasse had a harder time against Liverpool for that goal than Hernandez did.
You know why he
with the header.
scored? Because he's a Merseysider, dude. Everton boy.
Oh my God, Everton fans are going
gutted.
nuts on Twitter about that.
What about the second goal? Goes through Mingules's legs. I mean, I've scored goals like this before. You get a little bit of lucky. You get a little fortunate. I don't think we could be overcritical, but what did you think about that one?
There's
I
there's
think
like
it's a
a foot
breakaway.
between your legs.
Yeah.
That's not his fault.
I still blame him.
I mean, that's a breakaway,
He was
dude.
backing up, and then like his position.
Just
Well,
come on.
that's the typical finishing in a forward. You know, you wait for the goalie's feet to move. He's not set. You slide it literally a couple inches, either
Underneath.
left, right, or through him. So like that
So
was
we're
just
being
good
kind of fair
technique.
here. Shout out to Stewart.
But
But it was a great finish. It was just, Mignolet. It was unlucky. I don't blame him for that one. It's a
So-
breakaway.
Well, how about how the ball got there? Just boot it.
Yeah.
It's a 2-on-1. You have a 7-foot tree back there.
Well, no, it just happened to United too. So don't make it seem like it doesn't happen to other players,
With what?
other teams.
It did.
Hernandez.
Pablo
It did.
Hernandez.
Actually, there was twice that it happened, and then
He touched
Markovic.
the outside of his boot. It was a very calm Niasse, just like the touch or two before that goal.
Yeah,
That
then
was a great
Markovic
touch.
hit the
Finish,
post
I mean.
against United. So I mean, it happens.
Dude, post is-
It's
I'm
more
talking
about
about
how really transforming their team right now. But the thing is, I understand with Summer going into the season. Okay, we trust this player, we trust that player. But then going through the January transfer season, and then 2 games out of that transfer season, you're going in with Lucas Leve and James Milner. Well, James Milner is doing good, but he's tired. He's exhausted.
You keep
Exhausted
saying that. You
Milner.
keep saying that, but he's not tired.
He's a tired
guy,
Milner is
guy
not a
runs.
good left.
The guy runs all game, every game.
He's a robot.
You're telling me that Milner is as good right now that he was in October?
Yeah.
No,
Not
even close.
You know
dude.
what the difference
not
is?
even close.
Milner's not getting up that line anymore.
Yeah.
He's not pulling a Klein. Klein is always up and down that right
And
side.
I don't
now
blame
the
him.
left side, you don't see Milner. Yeah, and
Right,
it's not his
Maybe
fault.
because
he
he's
just
not a
doesn't have legs.
natural left back.
No, he just doesn't
he's
have
not
those kind
Dude,
of
his
legs.
body's not made to.
Was he
do those
30
runs.
years?
Look
What
at
is
his
he? 30 years
build.
old?
You look at
something?
Valencia. You
31
look at,
years old.
You look at Rose. You look at
Kyle
Bellerin.
Walker.
He's too big for that role.
I'm
Like
saying he's not a natural left back.
Well, no.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't
Yeah.
care about the. He's
no.
playing very
Defensively,
well.
he's fine.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like he doesn't
But you
give
got to
you.
bomb on, mate. You
Yeah.
got to bomb on.
No,
It's part of
he's
the
playing like
of
Gary
the
Neville.
modern-
I'm
yeah.
not being critical
That's
about his
smart
game at all.
left back.
I don't care if he's not a traditional left back. He's doing great at left back. The thing is, he's just too tired right now. You need to bring someone in to give him.
You got
some time
Moreno,
off.
bro.
Moreno, dude, he's a Backstreet Boy. Get him out of here.
Gomez? Can Gomez play the left back?
But Lucas Leve at center back. What?
Bro, he played that for you last. He's been playing there
been
for
playing
you guys
for like
the
2
past
years.
couple
No, no,
of
but
years.
you look
Yeah,
at-
how's
But
that
again-
been defense?
But again,
How's
what-
that defense?
Every
Every
time it's
years?
a makeshift. You haven't been able to attract
This defense
the
is
proper
put together
guys.
with duct tape.
It is because Lucas Leiva, not a natural center back. Good point. Milner, not a natural left back. So
Then you have Chan in front of them. Cool. Let's go
but
to
at
the
the
right
same
side.
time, you're linked with Quincy Promise. You're linked with all these wingers. So you
Yeah,
got to
No,
address your
they were linked
priorities,
with a
man.
lot of left backs too. It's just one of those things. They
Address
need
your
them.
weaknesses.
They need to
You need
just spend.
You need
Just
Jonathan Tah.
I don't know how you guys didn't
Yeah,
buy
that's a good
anybody
call.
this
Yeah.
winter.
Good call.
You
I
didn't buy a
anybody
left
in the
back,
team.
bro. You should have bought anybody.
if you have to
Even an
spend,
old man, like
if
just
you have to
anyone
spend
that plays
30,
left back.
40% more for one player or two players that make the difference between making top 4 and not making
You
top 4,
spend.
they just made all that money back just from making top
Yeah,
4.
but the catch with that, Huss, is that you never know. You know that.
Guess what? I mean,
they
it is
brought
what
in.
it
They
is.
brought in Mane thinking he's going to get him top 4. They brought in Matip thinking he's going to get him top 4. They brought in Clavin. So like, I understand what you're saying, but Liverpool's trying. What they need to do now is get a surefire guy. Like Aubameyang is unsettled. Real Madrid now is sniffing at Aguero. So you can tell like
So is
they're
Chelsea.
not that in love with Aubameyang. You know, Aubameyang could talk him into a deal, but they're not in love with him. So go to a Liverpool, reunite with Klopp, start making shit happen again. Liverpool's a club that can get you into Champions League status. Like win something, but
But again,
via Europa, maybe.
But I
'cause
mean-
that's what it's looking like right now.
But that's another thing that you guys give me crap about all the time. We're talking offense. Where defense, you need to sign at least one defender this January and pay 35 mil for him.
It's February.
agreed.
But who wants? It's not.
Well, you
it's
know
not
what I mean.
necessarily us.
This past January.
Us.
Yeah.
What you have to understand is it's two sided, right? It's two-folded. So they're willing, I think, Liverpool, to pay 40 million, 50 million for that defender. But which club is willing to let go of that kind of caliber defender in January?
Then pay 50.
Who are they
And the
gonna-
thing is,
It's not
you
that
try
simple.
to, you try to
It's
get
not
it.
that simple.
It's not
Because
FIFA.
Other
Well, I know
clubs
that,
are also
but-
trying to make Champions League.
No, I
Other
underst-
clubs
I
also have their own
understand that.
ambitions.
But you try to get in the first week or so,
Yeah,
so
but
they can.
nobody
but
wants
they
to
said
come because
no.
it's not
That's the
guaranteed
point.
fourth
They said
place.
no.
They did
It's-
try.
Yeah.
There
You're
has
going
to
on
be
an assumption
someone
as
out
if
there.
he
There has to
did
be
not
someone.
try.
No, but
next year.
it's not about finding someone a body. It's about finding the premier players. Like,
Oh,
obviously
you
you can
get
go.
premier players during January.
Which is what they want.
But some guy can be that guy for January.
What's some guy to you?
Yeah, what does that mean?
What, is that B? Is that C level?
What kind of center back?
It's about getting someone better than Moreno, who can actually go into the game and give Milner time off.
But you don't. It's not. You don't really.
Why
need
watch
that
yourself
yet.
sink?
It's not about Hussey.
Just keep float. Get a Band-Aid for January.
I think honestly,
FIFA style.
honestly,
No, it's not
look.
about FIFA.
You sub him in.
Because you're not taking into consideration the other side. You're taking into consideration Liverpool.
No, I'm
and
taking
what
into
they're
consideration
not
the other
doing.
side.
But
But
we
if
have
you
to-
can find someone better than Moreno in January.
Look, I think,
Maybe.
man.
You
I
know,
think
no, maybe
you
that's
can
not
find
crazy.
you can find a
that's not
cone.
crazy.
Yeah.
That,
But I
Hey,
don't think they want to find someone just better than Moreno. I think the thing is they want to find a guy who's the guy for that position.
That's plan A. Plan A doesn't work. You go to plan B.
No, plan B is let Milner ride out the rest of the season, finish top 4, and go to summer.
because whoever
But
that
you're not
plan
going to
B
finish.
is,
They
you have to,
they very well might not finish top
you
4.
also
Milner
have to
playing
spend
every
an
game.
exorbitant amount for that plan B, who's not even your plan
Look, I
A.
think-
But you
I
make
think
some money back by getting to Champions League.
I think there are a lot of people setting the fire alarms, even on, I was watching NBC. Man, like, Liverpool's still in the fucking race. Sure, it's
I know they're
downturn,
still in the race.
but like you look at, I think
fourth.
if you have a premier number 9 who's scoring goals, like Arsenal has, United has, Chelsea has, you guys don't have a guy in that top 5 of the race. If you guys have that, you guys might be the only team keeping up with Chelsea because of your offense.
Right, and the point that
And
Klopp made- go
Firmino,
ahead.
sorry, a couple weeks ago, if Firmino finishes those chances, you win that game. And in yesterday's game against Hull, if Coutinho finishes the few chances, you win that game. So I don't think you're that far off to where we just need bodies at left back. We need bodies at center back. Sure, you feel that way, but you're not that
bodies,
far
body. Just get somebody.
off. I don't think you don't
Just-
need somebody.
That's
I think you
fine.
need the body,
You
and
can
it's
get
worth
that
waiting
in-
till
you-
the summer.
You can get that in summertime, but look at the
body.
defense right now. We have Lucas Levy and James Milner,
Ryan, who
a
do you want?
depleted.
Who do you wanna
The reason
But
you're
this-
losing is because
yeah.
you're not scoring goals. Sure, you're giving up goals, but you're not scoring
You're
goals.
not
dude.
outscoring your
So
opponents, which is the Liverpool way.
losing.
This
Just
is my
score
point.
more
The point
goals.
Klopp was making after the game, dude, was that we've made it this far and we've been fine.
Yeah, man.
We've
'Cause
been
they've
fine
been- yeah.
without a left back, without all these extra players. We've made it this far.
The race isn't over,
Up
dude.
until-
hold on.
Up until last week, Liverpool were like the main threat to Chelsea.
were, man.
Right, and that's the point.
Well,
that
they won
Klopp's
last week,
that
and
kind of
that's
guy.
what-
And that's why it's
coming
so
in,
weird
but
that everyone's
if-
freaking out, man.
That's what
No,
happens.
I'm
week
not.
to week.
Look, first things
City,
first.
a couple before fucking
City.
Jesus started scoring, City
You're
was
done.
done.
You're done.
Pep is done. Pep
Whoa,
sucks.
whoa.
City now wins.
Let's not get
and they're
confused
back.
here. I'm not
No,
freaking out.
I'm not saying
Oh,
you
okay,
are. I'm
okay.
saying the news, the media.
okay,
You're
okay.
kind of freaking out with wanting just a body in there so Milner can rest. Dude, I think the team you have is fine. Are you going to win the league? Probably not. Can you finish top 4 with these guys? Fuck yes.
Of
Fuck
course,
yes.
yeah. Coming
So I
into the
don't
week,
think you
if
need
they
just
won last
a
weekend,
body
we'd
in
be in
January.
second.
I don't think there was any body in January that was going to improve your team significantly enough to spend any money on. That's why no one got anyone. United didn't pick anyone up. No, like,
Well,
there's
this-
just nothing out there for top 4 clubs trying to make it into Champions
I'm just
League.
worried that Moreno, who's going to play for Milner? Just give him 1 out of 4 weeks off, just so Milner can get those legs back, so he can finish the
Can't
league
afford
strong.
Are
Exactly.
you
That's
about
it.
this life?
That. Well,
You about this
dude,
life?
he was all about the life. Problem is, he's 31.
No, this life.
What this like 4th?
This EPL life. What? This Champions League life.
This no Christmas break life.
Well, next year we'll try to win the league, unlike you.
You know,
guys. I mean,
the best stat of the weekend.
Liverpool
Came in,
did that for years.
came in second last year. We're trying to win the league. You know, it's
Are you?
just, it's just.
Hey, let's not leave. Hey, we're on Liverpool still. Not Arsenal. Don't worry, we're on
Thanks
Liverpool.
for checking me right there.
I got you, bro. Don't worry.
Good shit, man.
You don't have to take that from him.
For me,
No, hold the best stat of the season. Best stat of the weekend. Best stat of the weekend. This is Hull City's first clean sheet of the season.
Yeah, you take a sip of that
We're
one.
gonna outscore them.
Go ahead and hydrate.
We're just gonna score more goals, everybody. Which is true,
clean
because
sheets.
dude, you've
Well,
been.
I'm telling you right
hey,
now,
hold on.
if you start Wijnaldum
Oh
instead of
my
Sean,
God.
It's always somebody, bro.
If you do this,
always
right, you
one
lost.
player.
Own it.
Dude,
Didn't
I'm-
Wijnaldum start last time and it was Mane who didn't start? So now Mane starts. Is Wijnaldum?
Yeah, we need Mane.
It's an if
No.
game.
all right,
Always.
we talked about this United when they played Hull. So when Hull sits back,
How far back?
what type of player do you need?
You need short, creative players.
Is Chan creative? Who's more creative, Wijnaldum or Chan?
Lana.
There's no
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. You need to get those players in there to do work, not Chan.
Dude, you have Firmino, Coutinho, and Mane.
Chan can play next week.
I'm
against-
saying that
You guys
they're
were all
leading your
over him,
line,
though.
dude.
I was watching the game
Yeah,
and
man.
like you guys had plenty
Chan's
of
not clean enough,
opportunities.
dude.
You were just cowish,
And-
man. Coutinho your premier
That's what I'm
guy.
saying,
He
man.
gets
You're not
plenty
that
of shots.
far
So
off.
don't just put it on Chan.
No,
man.
I'm not
Chan's
just putting
not
it on him.
known for scoring, and I see your point that you need more creative players in there. But either way, Coutinho was
22
missing.
shots, dude.
Firmino was missing.
The big thing is,
Yo, coach.
again, the gegenpress where they...
The gay
are-
press.
Funny.
Funny.
So, so they're just exhausted right
Yeah,
now because if you
press
look at
you.
Lallana or Coutinho, their touch is awful right now. Where it takes, they're not doing the one touch passing anymore.
Yeah.
They're doing two touch. They're doing three touch because they don't have that little extra step. They don't have that extra
You know what,
balance.
don't freak out, man. Don't freak out. This was Mane's first game back. Coutinho's
Well, I
getting
didn't say
back
Mane. I said
into it
Coutinho.
from
Oh.
injury. Let me finish. You're bringing on Sturridge in desperation. I could tell you guys just want to sell him already. So everyone's getting back into it with Shitpool. Yeah, you were shitty this game, but when you guys hit your stride, you've shown already you can be the best attacking team in this league. That's all it's gonna take.
There's two things for Hull City that really make a difference in this lineup. Is Jakovic,
Jakubovic.
he's had two outstanding games in a row, pulling saves out of crazy places.
Not happening against Arsenal, bruh.
And Andrea Ranocchia, the center back they got on loan.
Ranocchia. That's
From
the second
Ranocchia.
second name.
Ranocchia, whatever you want
Well,
to say.
I know this is a bit crazy, but I wouldn't mind Alexander Arnold playing that game instead of Milner for against Hull.
Probably, maybe.
Because you're trying to save Hull, trying to get him rested for next week, where it's going to be a tougher opponent. I think it's Arsenal,
Tottenham.
right? Oh, Tottenham.
Spurs.
Tottenham. I knew it was a London team. So that's going to be harder. So you want Milner as fresh as can be. So Alexander Arnold should have played this game against Hull.
Yeah, the Wijnaldum shot wasn't far off either. I think maybe he could have done better next to Henderson and Lallana. That could have been pretty good. But I mean, it's just that's 1 out of 11 players, and Mingale was your biggest flaw with the first goal you concede.
Soft.
Now Hull can sit back. You got to be all down their end. They kick long once. That's a game.
I mean, you had over 70% possession in the game.
Oh, you dominated. You had the
Yeah,
ball
we did
the
that
whole
against
time.
Burnley too. But the thing is, we're not getting the results.
Came to
All the
nothing.
worst teams you guys lose against.
Playing
Bournemouth
down to
your
opponents.
level. Yep.
Man of the match. I'm going to give it to Niasse, man. Comes in off the bench. Everton player out there on loan. Gets the dagger.
Jakubovic for me. Guy's nasty.
I like that. Farid, goalkeeper, 2 good games in a row.
Oh, Stuart.
Honorable shout.
The goalie!
for you.
So goalies are important now.
I never said that. I never said that. You know,
So they count now. Goalies count.
They count. But yeah,
First of all, part.
Jakubovic, good game. Honorable shout out to Ndai.
I got Ranocchia coming in. Michael Dawson goes down in warm-ups, captain of the club. He steps in, first start in the Prem. Old man gets it done, clean sheet against Liverpool.
That's amazing.
Led that back line, man. And Marco Silva, the manager. Just want to give this guy props, dude.
It's gonna
Like
be
this
special,
is
huh?
no longer. It's a different Hull.
R.I.P. Feeling.
Like yeah, I love Mike Phelan, man. Like I love he's United and stuff, but I guess I don't know, man. He lost it.
He didn't win anything.
No, I mean
He don't want anything.
I don't think he was ready to walk into this league with a team like this with no reinforcements.
See,
Or
that's
I don't know what
why
it
when
was.
people are like, give Giggs the Swansea job, I'm like, you don't want your first
bury
job
him.
to be like digging out of a hole.
Unless we're in a good position to go up.
That's
You
what
know,
I'm
if,
saying.
like,
So
they
you
have-
want a mid-table team. You know, maybe they're in the bottom half of the
Just
table.
neutral.
But
Start neutral.
yeah, man, let's not get crazy trying to pull the Sam
Don't start
Allardyce
trying to
digging
drive up
team.
the hill.
Come on, look at Bob Bradley, dude. Forever his reputation's tarnished. Swansea at some point was unsavable until Paul Clement came in.
And Makalele.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Claude.
mainly
Claude pulling
Makelele.
the strings
Shout out to
in the
Claude.
back. Dude, you got Leroy Fair out there dousting. We'll get into that one though. But
Hussey, man of the match.
let's wrap it up, bussing.
Well,
The
you know,
wheels
Coutinho
on the
did
bus.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lallana
don't
did that.
fucking list everyone's performance either.
So Ranocchia,
Oh, man.
I mean, Hull had 11 shots blocked. He won. He was a beast in the air. I mean, he
He's
shut.
huge.
Yeah. So that's the dude.
All right, man. There you go.
Oh, well
Short
done,
and sweet.
Huss. That was nice, man.
Short and sweet.
Shit on him
Yeah,
so
it's
much
'cause
he
he's
didn't want to talk
concussed.
anymore.
And the
Yeah,
Hey, Bellerin, you still with us?
and the landslide continues for
Got it wrong,
Shitpool.
Ryan Mason with this one.
Here comes 6th place, bro. I predicted it at the start of
we
the
go.
season. 6th place finish for Liverpool.
We're not there yet.
You're about to be there, bro.
not there yet.
Not yet.
Said
It's
yet.
happening.
Oh, the crack.
If that actually turns true, man, I thought I was gonna be a fool like in the first half of the season.
I know Huss.
Second place is like, ah, fuck, I was way off. Now, different story, dude.
I know Huss is
What up,
nervous
Sean?
when he's staring at his laptop. He's just
Yeah.
like,
Doing like random weird mouth shit. Like,
Oh no! First off,
that's what I know. That's his nerve.
Farid now just gave me a peanut butter cracker.
Yeah, that's what it is.
He's like a dog. What are you, a dog, right?
Yeah, peanut butter. Whoa! You're making it seem like you guys weren't doing that too. So
I haven't even eaten mine yet, so
Yeah. I don't know why you ate yours first. That's after the show, right?
because it's tasty.
Tottenham, Middlesbrough. Tottenham getting fucking lucky, man.
Yep.
Sour
For
grapes here.
love it, dude.
Middlesbrough, best defense. Well, not best defense, but
At home.
a very difficult team to beat.
Middlesbrough.
Home and away. Tottenham gets a weak-ass PK. Legit, but so weak.
I needed that, bro, for fantasy. Thank Christ. I only wish Harry Kane drew it and then scored it. That would have been even
Harry
better
Kane should
points.
have had 3 goals.
Yeah, you should have.
Let's
Yeah,
speak
he's
about the man
gosh.
who did draw it, though.
Dude.
Special.
Son.
Actually,
Son
Harry Kane should have had
Heung-min.
4. Should have had 4 because Son takes the shot. I'm not even gonna get the Son.
Good.
Thank you for stopping, interrupting me.
Son.
Son Heung-min was, I'll say right now, that's my man of the match. This guy was
He
everywhere.
really was. He dominated the whole pitch. He was the
Passing.
maestro. Dele Alli was there, but dude, he carried this game.
Bro, he was on fire, and that's why I'm so conflicted with this guy. It's like, should I pick him up for fantasy or not? Some games he's on fire, some games he's not. This was a good defense too. No star names in it, but very organized. Middlesbrough have a lot of pride, away from home, at Shite Hart Lane, as we like to call it. But either way, this guy was dominating. Harry Kane gets the typical Harry Kane goal. We get a PK in this, but Son Heung-min, special performance in this game.
Dude, if he was going to start game in, game out, I would pick him up for fantasy. The problem is, like, if he has 1 or 2 bad games, he's back on the bench for 2 or 3 games. But it's a good rotation he's got going because every time he comes in, man, he's so effective.
He really is, man. And Deli Shop Ali, I captained him.
How'd that work?
That was ambitious, bro. Jesus Christ.
I
Dude,
mean,
he's been scoring goals like crazy.
He's been on fire.
Yeah, but it's always
taking
a
a nap the
wave
last-
thing, man.
Dude, you
Last
may
2
as well
weeks.
just give him the captain armband and let him ride for like 3 weeks. Because you never know what period those 3 weeks he's gonna hit. It could be the 4th or the 6th and skip over 5. You don't know.
My tactic, I rather always give it to either Kane, Costa,
Ibra.
Zlatan. Those 3 guys don't go more than 2 games without scoring ever. So Zlatan didn't score last week. I knew he was due this week. I could have put it on Lukaku, but he's also up and down. I knew Zlatan doesn't
put it
go
on
more than
Costa.
2. Could have put it on Costa. Actually Costa hasn't scored, guys. So a little fantasy tip: if you're thinking of jumping in, Costa's probably going to score in the next 2 games. Pick him up. I don't take risks on the midfield,
Yeah, I've
man.
been
It's
done,
too
been
iffy.
done,
Hazard.
Well, they also
Sanchez, Arsenal's gonna suck. He's not gonna do
so
anything.
risky.
But he's
Stick
still
to those
gets
3
an assist or
forward.
something.
Or Chelsea.
He'll do something.
Chelsea got some good fixtures
He'll do
coming up
something.
too.
Always
Yeah,
bails you
very
out.
friendly schedule.
I think my other man of the match for this was Musa
Yeah.
Dembele.
It's Musa.
Yeah, Musa.
Yeah. There's so many
Dude,
Dembeles
this
now.
guy-
He's such a beast, man.
He balled out this game though. Like he
Yeah.
had a couple plays where he drilled down a couple guys with like thought he lost it, didn't lose it.
Dude, the step
Shout
over
out.
while the ball is bouncing.
Yeah, it was
brings it down. Ball's bouncing. He steps over.
So
it.
smooth.
Jesus.
Shout
He was
shout
up
out
and
to his
down.
long distant cousin, Musa Dembele, who plays on Celtic.
His long distance same name cousin.
Scored a hat trick. This guy's balling too, but he
Killing it in the-
This
he
weekend?
reiterated. Yep,
Honestly, yeah.
yep.
Bro.
Said that
He
his
subbed
future
on
is
his-
That's
here
who Liverpool
at
should buy,
Celtic.
man.
Yeah.
I think that's almost like reverse psychology to say my future's here after scoring a hat trick.
He subbed
all-
subbed on and scored it in 27 minutes.
Dude, all you're doing, you're
Outrageous.
just trying to leave in a healthy way.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about with players. Like, obviously, he knows his future's not at Celtic, but when you're hot, if you back the club you're at, man, that shows teams like Real Madrid that this guy's a good professional. He's got his head on the ground. If he's in the newspapers after scoring a hat trick saying, "Hey, my dream's always been to play for Real Madrid, my grandfather's dream," that's that shit.
Aubameyang.
Exactly, man. That's that shit that just puts you in a weird light. Now you look like you're not dedicated to your club. After every good performance you have, you should always reiterate, even if, behind the scenes, like a Virgil is probably leaving for City, but he should always say, I have Southampton's back. That's how you leave on, like, good terms.
Not like Sterling, not like Berahino.
Yeah, man.
Not
It
like
makes everything
the most
so
recent
funky.
Dimitri Payet.
Payet.
Oh, God.
Refused to play.
Soon to be a Joa.
Yes, yes. He came out, too, publicly saying
I
he'll
quit.
never play for Leicester again. Like,
But dude, we didn't touch on him, but I back him on this because the team's been shit all year. He's made, I think, like 5 starts or less all season, and no one's scoring. Vardy's been shit, and he's like, dude, I still can't play.
They signed an
Like, I'd be
exact
pissed
player
too,
in
man.
his
Like, what the
mold.
fuck?
Slimani's like in his exact mold,
Slimani's
too.
even, Slimani's playing nice.
I got
but
no
he's getting more
problem.
burn.
Just
Exactly.
leave then. just leave.
Yeah.
Well, last
No,
year
I'm just saying
too late with
I can
that.
understand he's pissed and like he should.
He was
I think
the super sub
January,
last year.
behind the scenes, he should have went to Ranieri's office. Say, look, you haven't used me in the last 6 months. Let me go.
I don't know
Well,
how
my
early
agent
he
stop
may
it.
have.
I don't
He
know
may
how
have, we
early he
don't
did
know.
that, but there was a story that came out that he did eventually do that, maybe
Yeah.
on transfer deadline day, but he didn't take it as far as Dimitri Payet took it,
Yeah.
as to
Yeah.
say that
I
he would
believe
not play.
I
for
believe
the
he put
club.
his
Gotcha.
transfer request in.
Yeah.
So-
side
he
note to
really-
that, I
No one
think
wanted him.
Joa is basically crap. So like, I don't blame him for not playing, but it's like you got if you have the guy and you need something.
Dude, he was good last
He
year.
scored before, but dude, he's so slow.
He saved them a couple
Like,
times last
he's-
year.
he's-
Yeah, dude, subbed on, scored in the 90th. They won 1-0.
He's just so slow, man.
I mean, he's been with them for a long time.
So
Yeah,
is
he's
Giroud, my
been-
man. So
Yeah.
is Giroud.
Well, I was just gonna say that, dude. That's Leicester's Giroud. You put him on, he wins a header.
chill, bro.
Then
Nah.
who would be more
That's,
like
that's
Giroud on
Liverpool's
Leicester?
Benteke. That's who that is. That's Liverpool's Andy
No,
Carroll.
because
Garbage.
Benteke was worse. Yeah,
I don't
because
know about that.
yeah, then when he was on Liverpool,
I can bring up Andy Carroll too. Shall I keep going?
What about Lambert?
Oh yeah,
That was a
Lambert.
stud signing.
Yep, those are
Barini.
nasty.
Nailed it.
wait. Well, we're getting off topic.
Barini.
Yeah,
all right, bro.
Okay,
Yo,
we're talking
you wanted
about
to take
Joe,
a
how,
Liverpool.
how we're doing well.
But back to the game. Did you guys see?
He brought up Liverpool. I didn't.
I know.
You guys,
Every time you talk,
Any
I'm gonna bring up
excuse to
Liverpool.
boot Liverpool.
you guys see Valdez and Deli going at it?
Yeah, what was that about, man? Valdez
The commentator
getting a little-
thought it was like a catastrophe. Like he was blown way out of proportion. Like I don't
Yeah,
think it was
look-
anything.
I mean, look, I don't think it was anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if the FA came in because if what's his name with the eye gouge, Dembele last season, it's slightly different. Obviously, Valdez is not eye gouging him, but like Valdez does it twice, like mushes his face. Ali does a fantastic job keeping his
I'd be
composure,
pissed, bro.
and then comes back in and like gives him a finger and like pushes him away again. You
Maybe
know?
he knew of Ali's
Oh, yeah.
reputation last year and what happened, and
But
Oh,
but
yeah.
but,
we
but still,
criticized him for that.
Trying to
too.
but
instigate.
still, like it was weird, man.
I
Like
never
to-
liked Valdez.
Did you see
Yeah.
him?
He's
Yo,
never
did you
your
see
boy?
Never
Valdez
liked him. Never
celebrating with
liked
Fabio? Fabio won a header over Kane, and then out of nowhere, Valdez is like, yeah, he like starts like he like punched him in the back of the head, like he pushed him, and like shut. I was like, oh my god.
I think it was
I
like
like
a
that dude.
pat on the back, but like
That's
it
how
happened to
that's
be on
how
the
that's how
head.
defenders
Yeah.
are, man. It's
And
a
you see
goalie defender relationship.
Fabio was like, oh, he was shaking up a little bit. He was like, whoa, what?
Oh yeah, on that header on the back post.
Yeah, on the
right?
back post, yeah.
when he knocked it out. Yeah, that was a goal, dude. If Fabio didn't win that was a goal.
But
I
I
think
mean-
it's because he's like 5'2", and everyone was like, "Oh, shit!"
Yeah.
Save the goal, motherfucker.
Right? Yeah, that was great effort, man. Fabio played well, dude. I'm glad he's getting time. I'm glad he's getting a lot of support there as well, developing nicely. Man of the match.
Son Heung-min. I said it earlier.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Son, man. This dude is just game changer.
For me, Musa Dembele.
Dig it.
So much word.
I got Moose, but it's close to Son, man. Just because he was silky, bro.
Yeah.
He fits their style of play
kept-
so well.
Kept
Like,
going at Chambers every possession he got.
dude.
Just
He's got
kept
so many
pressing.
moves,
Yeah,
and
dude.
he's kind of fast.
And
He's
he
like
can
80
pass.
speed overall.
Yeah,
He's,
he can
he's a
cross.
complete attacker.
Shout out to Adama Traore though, breaking fools off here and there.
Yeah.
Got shut down though.
Here-
He needs,
here and
he needs
there.
the right
Into it.
club.
I
man.
mean,
He needs
Son
the right club.
broke off on Chambers a few times.
Chambers got roasted a few
Yeah,
times.
so I'm going with Son because
Sucks.
You know
he
what,
did
go
well,
back.
even though I was really fantasy-wise, I was hoping he was going to go back post on back post on one of them where Harry Kane was wide open, but he tries to go near post and misses. Son, come on, help my fantasy team
Dude,
out,
stop
bro.
telling us your inner thoughts that like you should be talking to yourself about. Tell us your man of the match.
Nah, but I want to hear
I already
it.
did.
Nah, keep
I already
doing
did.
it.
All right.
Christ.
Let's hear how the sausage is made, man. Man City 2, Swansea City 1. Pep Guardiola bailed out.
Benches.
Looks like I'm getting a fucking
Aguero.
haircut soon.
Oh, yes, you
This
are.
dude.
He, was he already
Three
three?
goals, 2 games.
Gabi Jesus.
I saved it. I saved it.
This kid is special.
2 goals. He's 19, bro, and
So-
he fits EPL
Bad.
style
So
already.
I
Chill.
just read something about Jesus came out saying, "Oh, I was linked to this team. I was linked to that team. I understand, but Pep was the only manager to call me." What?
That's so insane, man. When I saw that article too, and you think, like, as far as recruiting, like now, like in this day and age, I don't think it's enough to just be like we're Man United, or we're Man City. Like, you have to go the extra mile. It was the
Barcelona does
same-
that.
Well, Barcelona, Real Madrid, different
Well,
ballpark.
how badly
but
did you want him?
but it's the same way Klopp got Mane. Klopp called Mane personally and talked him into signing the deal.
Arsene Wenger, Alexis Sanchez.
I don't understand why for every trade a manager's not on the call. Like, okay, formal offers going in. Okay, we have 8 offers accepted. Hey, Jose, please, man, take an hour on Monday. Let's call this guy. Let's talk him into the deal.
You know why? I think there's so much going on. Most of the time, it's in season. You're thinking about your preseason plan, even if it's in the summer.
It shouldn't matter, man.
But it does.
Your scouts should tell you.
It's a couple-hour phone call.
Pep Guardiola personally wanted him. This wasn't one of those things where it's like, all right, here's the list. See who you can get. It was like, this guy.
But
I need this guy.
all these top managers, sure, have sporting directors, but all the top 6 managers are the ones who identify players. So they'll say, I want Moussa Dembele from Celtic. Then a sporting director will go work the deal, work the money. Then once that offer is accepted, that's when I'm saying they bring in the coach. I don't think the coach should be involved.
That's the gem. It's like, how badly do you want? And that's my point.
I think it should be any player, man, because Man United looks better with Mane if we sign him. If Jose takes a minute, calls this dude, lets him know the project we're working on, what we're trying to build.
To your point, if it is, every single call, is it as special? Is it as unique?
But the player doesn't need to know that. You can say, look, I call all my players. I'm not going to tell you what I say to all my players. You don't have to call every single player and be like, you're the next guard, you're the next guard. But you can tell them, look, you might not be the steering wheel, but you're the right front tire. You have a role to play in this game. You might not be, the guy we put on a pedestal, Antonio Valencia, for example, but you're the guy in that role we need.
It should be like that. Managers definitely need to make more calls to certain
That's all, man. And I'm saying once it's accepted, you're not even talking him into, because you can't even contact him until the club is giving you permission to. Once the deal's accepted and you know you're competing, if it's an underground signing like a Depay kind of guy, then yeah, maybe you don't need to call him because you know you're not competing with anyone for him. But Gabi Jesus, the next Neymar type of player, every manager should be on that call attempting to speak Portuguese or Spanish or whatever language he speaks, trying to get this guy into the club, man. I don't get it. It seems half-assed.
Like a story, it's similar to this, and it just highlights how easy it is. If you just make the call, you can sign the guy. Eric Cantona, when he was on Leeds, he was about to leave. I don't know if he's going to join Newcastle, but he called the guy. He's like, yeah, okay, I'll go there. Then Fergie calls up. He's like, hey, I'm interested in you, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, oh, well, Fergie calls, so I'll go there. But I was going to go here. But because he called, now I'm going this way.
Exactly.
That's how easy it can be sometimes.
That's right.
Legendary.
Now, I don't know why you wouldn't do it with every single player, because you don't know who the next Cantona. Nothing to lose, dude. You're already paying the money to get him. Just take an hour and give this guy a phone call.
I mean, it's that player that makes your team like X factor that much better.
But with every purchase, that's what the manager's thinking. When they bought Mane, they were thinking, this is our X factor. When they bought Firmino, this is our X factor. Coutinho, all these players are X factors. It's not like they buy him and be like, not sure about this guy. At least top 6, the outside of top 6, they buy for depth.
I think this is a different level.
Yeah.
I think it could be. You know what I mean?
We have to keep a couple of things in mind. I'm trying to figure out whether Man City signed Jesus before he was playing for. He's roasting people for Brazil over the summer.
For Palmeiras.
They did. They bought him in the summer, then they loaned him back so he could finish the Brazilian season.
He
was playing. It was before the Olympics.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. When he was,
they had him.
So when we saw him in the Olympics, people were like, "Oh, they."
But everyone knew, like, if you're professional talent scout, bro.
Thank you. If you're the Oracle, Oracle. Might as well call me Oracle from Matrix, except I'm a man and I got a big dick.
But the big thing with me was Coutinho. Can't tell Klopp, dude. You can't tell Klopp about your freaking teammate.
I think that's he brought it back to Liverpool. None of us wanted it.
Liverpool sucks, dude.
Some way.
Let's play Pep Guardiola.
I saw this coming. I knew he was going to change their season, man. This kid is special. There's something about him. They don't watch him that much with Brazil.
Goals. Well, you know what else is changing?
His attack position in and around the box. Go ahead.
You know what else is changing this season?
What?
Reintroduction of Yaya Toure.
Dude,
and the keeper changed to Willie Caballero.
Yo, he had a crazy save on that Segura.
The guy he already has 3 shutouts this year.
Although cover, man, on Sigurdsson goal.
He didn't see it. He saw it late.
That was late.
It was cut.
Do you think Courtois saves that? Do you think De Gea saves that?
Do you think Bravo saves that?
That's the question.
No, he doesn't. But what I'm saying is they need to fix that position because you're competing with Courtois, you're competing with Czech, you're competing with De Gea. I don't think Caballero is better than Bravo, but
to be fair, Nathan Dyer was in his field of sight.
But that's that special save you need because that's a 1-1 game. You're dropping points. That's that goalie when Fergie says a good goalie will save you,
You know
12
what?
points.
But Joey Hart might save that.
Joey Hart might save
Joey
that.
Hart
I
might
think Joey
save
Hart
that,
would have
bro.
saved that.
Do you think that goal was
Mignolet
offsides?
might save that.
Do you
No.
think that was
let's settle
offsides?
down.
I think. No, he's a special saver, man. If it's a routine save, he fucks it up. He's Bartes.
Classic Adebayor. I'll score a bicycle kick. I'll miss the
tap him.
one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, Gabriel
I
Jesus'
think-
first goal, man. I just want to real quick. Just a little karate kick. It was
Instincts.
beautiful, bro.
That's instinct.
He's
That's
like
just
a
hunger.
little velociraptor,
Poacher.
man. He's so
Just
lightweight,
hungry.
just flew in there,
Somehow Raheem Sterling got the assist on fantasy.
dude.
You
But
know why? 'Cause he
Lukaku
had
doesn't
it.
get an assist.
Yeah.
Are you bullshitting me,
You can have it, Raheem.
No, Lukaku-
I like you.
I hear you on the
bro?
Lukaku.
He
but
made the
can't.
pass. The guy scored.
Yeah, but the guy kicked
passed
it
it
off.
into-
It was
the
a rebound,
defender,
McGee, man,
the
but it's a goal.
defender.
He was like
The
trying
thing
to
is,
shoot
Sterling
it,
on the
bounces
Sterling
up.
on the Jesus goal, Sterling actually touches it. He's going for goal, and that's why he never makes it because he's off balance.
Yeah.
But Sterling was the last touch. I like it because I have Sterling, so like,
Oh,
I'm not
my
even
God.
mad about
That's
it.
a
what I'm saying.
mistake.
You have
my
to.
friend.
All right, another free little
on
piece
fire.
No,
of
don't get
fantasy.
Sterling,
He's
bro.
on
It's a
fire.
mistake.
Dude, Sterling, Sane, De Bruyne, Jesus. If you don't have at least one of those four, you're fucking up. Their schedule the next couple
You got
weeks
De Bruyne.
so weak.
Captained. I captained De Bruyne. I thought
I'm dumping Sterling for Sane this week.
Yeah.
You know what?
Sane just roasted.
He's real, dude. He's real.
When
Tom
I first,
called that one too.
yeah, when I first looked at you got to start him. But when I first looked at this game,
start him.
at
Start
first
him.
I
He's
was
gonna play
like,
Raheem.
you know what, City? Yeah, you know what? They just beat West Ham 4-0. This could be another route. 4-0, 3-0. And then I thought about it. I was like, oh no, this is a new look Swansea right here. This is gonna be tight.
Yeah.
They're gonna need to dig deep and win this one. I think EPL. The reason why it's one of the most difficult leagues to predict every single fixture is because it goes week by week.
Yeah.
Are you feeling it this week? Do you have a new manager, for
Are you
instance?
injured.
Yeah, injuries here and there. So you have to go week by week with this and really dig a little bit deeper and understand where the team sits, their last results, how they're feeling. And for this one, man, the City, what are they, in third place now?
Yeah.
It was a crisis a couple weeks ago. Now
They
they're
were in
sitting in
fifth to third.
and it's
That's-
all good.
Yeah, man. That's why this race is so tight. Now United has officially joined the race, sitting 2 points behind fourth. Man, there's no... even Arsenal struggling is still in the race, too. They're sitting in fourth, but could easily have a win and jump to second, overnight.
Just beat Watford, bro. Just beat Watford.
You're in
But
great
They'll be
shape.
straight.
I'm going to talk about this a different person right now. He did it last year when Swansea was struggling. Sigurdsson. He's starting to get into survival mode, and he's starting to take
Again.
Swansea on his back. Again, he
Right?
was so close to getting 2 goals. And
Would you
John
pick him up?
Michela having him 2 weeks in a row in fantasy. I'm like, come on, John.
How's-
How do you see that one coming?
EPL fantasy advice. Quick slip here. Would you pick up Gilfrey Sigurdsson?
Now I would because they're playing good football. They're beating Liverpool 3-2, scoring 3 goals a game, 2 goals a game. He's got to have a goal and
he
a
takes
goal or
every
an assist.
My issue with him is that
Or free kicks, penalties.
if he doesn't score, Swansea doesn't score.
Exactly.
Lorente
He's the
scored.
guy.
That's what
It's
I'm
not
saying.
grass.
But is Swansea going to
Defoe.
score, man?
That's Jermaine Defoe.
Dude,
I don't
the
know,
team
man.
Sunderland fielded this weekend, no one had scored a goal for Sunderland in the league except Defoe. Out of 11 players,
No,
only-
Defoe, different animal.
it's
Defoe,
just, but,
I'll
that's
forfeit that one.
ridiculous.
Left or
The
right?
reliance on one player.
Left or
Yeah.
left?
I don't know, man. Sigurdsson, absolute beast, playing out of his mind, has been, since day one for this club. I'd pick him up in fantasy just to have that it factor. I wouldn't rely on this guy week in, week
It's
out to
hilarious.
get me
Everyone
goals.
answered the question except for Bussington.
So
He's afraid
I
of
know.
I mean, yeah,
no,
I'm
because
looking
I was
at-
getting
I'm
into
looking-
it.
yeah, I'm looking at
because
his
he's
stats, dude.
He's 7.3 for the price. It's not a horrible price for someone that takes every spot kick. He's playing Leicester next week, so I could see that. But then Chelsea and Burnley, I don't know, with the new look Hull coming up. With Swansea, you just never know, and that's the thing because he just scored 3 games in a row. And had an assist as well, but is he going to continue that? I mean,
Dude,
how
put it
long
this
is he
way.
going to stay hot for?
All right,
Yes
put
or
it this
no?
way.
I don't think I would because I think I missed the bus.
Hey!
As you said,
That's a bus missing a bus.
Dude, with Sigurdsson, I wouldn't.
He missed the Huss? What happened?
Dude, I wouldn't pick him up. A guy like Matty Phillips is worth 5.6. He's got 109 points on the season. Gylfi, 120 points, worth 7.3. I don't think you're getting that much for Gylfi. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just me.
ah, man. All right.
But he's
all
a
right.
stud, man.
That's
He's
fair.
for like outside of fantasy talk for Swansea's the most important player. since Ashley Williams, man.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
He's going to bail him out.
He had like 9 goals in 11 games last year.
Yeah.
In like the last 15 games or so.
But, I mean, I would think about if he didn't. Again, he's already scored 3 and had assists in the last 3 games, so I don't know if he's going to keep going. But
cool off.
I mean, he would have been a good shout to go instead of the cooling Ali.
The cooling.
Yeah, because he's been pretty
Yeah,
cold
he's
the last
cooling off.
few weeks. Two matches, 3 matches.
I'm pissed at this game, man. It should have ended 1-1. And I just want to curse out Kyle Naughton, right back for Middlesbrough. Everyone busting their balls. Swansea, sorry. Everyone busting their balls in this game. You know, like, defendant, you score the goal. All right, we'll take the point. Like, all right, we did it. Like, job done. 90th plus. Like, just 3 minutes left.
Just ride it out.
Cross comes in, doesn't stay goal side, lets him go. And then he misses that. He doesn't score in the header. So he could have got the rebound even. It's one of those, game theory kind of things. You go either way. You make the run. You never know what's going to happen.
He literally gave him a free header. I understand that ball was perfect. Gabriel's probably going to win it. But what do? You jump into the
push
man
him
then, right?
Yes.
Or push him. Maybe take a risk
him
for
off a little
PK.
bit,
You know, you try something. You cannot give a free header.
Everyone's pissed, bro.
95
Everyone's like, "You fucking
minutes in.
serious, dude? Like you're playing right back,
That's
so you're
schoolboy
sprinting
shit.
a lot."
That's
But
schoolboy shit.
One of those things. That's a difference between a Swansea and Chelsea in a game like this, where both teams are feeling.
It's mentality.
Yeah, for sure.
Poor guy, man. And I watched the post-game interview, and Paul Clement was saying the free kick. And to his point, to be fair, the free kick was moved up like 10 yards. Should have been 10 yards further back. The ball was moving, so those things happen. Swansea has time to drop in, get their shape. But still, they've had plenty of time to cover that ball. It was just Naughton was taking a nap. But controversial goal. Paul Clement not happy.
City can have it. They can have it this week.
See,
whatever.
I just don't want him to have it because now you got Gabby firing. You got Aguero who almost scored, so he might fire because he's feeling,
pissed.
challenged finally.
You gotta work for something now.
Yeah, since Dzeko, this dude hasn't had a challenge, so
Don't
I'm
sleep
not
on
happy
Wilfred
about
Bonny,
it.
bro.
Who?
Don't sleep on Wilfred.
Is he still in the league?
Is he still on Ivory Coast?
He is.
Okay.
He is.
Oh, is that why they got bounced out?
Probably.
Okay.
Man, Vincent Kompany was on the bench for this one. Getting close to that return. Him and John
like that
Stones, man.
shout-out.
You got Kolarov playing fucking center back again,
How
dude.
nervous was John Stones in this game?
John Stones never should have left Everton. If he stayed, man, they'd pick up Ashley Williams. Between him and Jackie Elka, those three, bro.
That's
and the team around us.
Especially under Koeman.
Yeah, because this Everton team is gonna be real next couple of years. If Koeman stays for 2-3 years, this is gonna be a squad. This is gonna be a top sixer.
There might be a Tottenham.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, the name's Everton, but it can be not Barcelona, but Barcelona Junior.
Yeah, I mean that's the school Koeman comes from.
Yeah,
the
it's
Barcelona school. So that's in the system. Play football first. You see it also with Marco Silva at Hull. Playing against Liverpool. At times they had points where they were trying to play it out the back. You're in a relegation battle and you're trying to play it out the back. That's that positive mentality that gets you out of relegation.
Yeah, you can respect that. Left turn, I'll happily accept Ronald Koeman at Arsenal.
Oh my God,
Good shot.
that'd be a poach and a half.
That
son.
he'd play your system as well.
That'd be a poach.
I'd be fine with
And he'd get you guys solid at the back.
I've seen what he can do in this league.
Yeah.
With the quality he
shot.
has. I'll take that.
That's a good shot.
That's an A coach.
That's
The
crazy,
tough
bro.
thing is,
I didn't even
does
think
he-
about that link up until
He also might bring Lukaku with him.
The
Then.
tough thing is,
I love that.
Ooh, of course he would. He'd
know
bring
me.
all his boys with him,
Me,
man.
I'd love that.
But-
He'd bring Tom Davies.
Oh,
Bring him
Low
on.
sock.
that's why you'd have to sell Jack.
does
I'll
he
take
have
Jackie boy?
Does he have the kashish to bring in an Obama bang? Does he have the kashish to bring in Benz? Because those are the
Maybe
next
not
level
first
players
year.
you need.
Maybe not first year.
I think Arsenal has that, especially if we're in the
Did
Champions
you say that
League.
about Man United? We got fucking what's his name, David Moyes, who did a fantastic job at Everton. But players were just like, I don't know.
But
That
I look
transition.
at David Moyes and I look at Ronald Koeman, and I'd equate Ronald Koeman to an LVG in terms of their not
No way,
coaching
bro.
ability, but in terms of how
Reputation.
players look at them. LVG is definitely not much of a players coach.
Yeah.
But in terms of just kind of
No, bro. I think you're reaching, man. And I
think
think
they Pochettino.
LVG
in a
can bring
way-
in Di Maria. He can bring in
But that's my thing. I think you're
one or two
disrespecting
special
LVG a little bit, not on purpose, but this dude has managed some of the top clubs around the world. He's been at the top. LVG has. Sure, he came to United and it was a bust, and I personally hate him for that. But
Netherlands and all
I cannot. When you look at this dude's resume, man, you cannot compare him to Koeman. Koeman hasn't done shit
not
yet.
the resume, but Koeman is one of the best players of all time.
Yes.
Agreed, bro.
That's
but
the difference, is
can
that-
he draw those plays?
And
We'll see
on
it.
some weird level, I don't want to put up their resumes together because LVG's been coaching longer. But in what you said, he's from the school of Barcelona. Number one,
has he
we've
done-
seen him what he's done as a player on the field. So those players, and they're players.
But has he done enough as a manager to warrant being able to pull in guys like Lucas? Like, that's my point in that I don't think
Like
he has
Lucas
a
Moura,
Yeah, I don't think he
Yes.
has a reputation.
but like Aubameyang or like the A+ guys, no. So he's not a Diego Simeone who's going to pull in whoever,
Exactly.
but he's that level below.
But
He's
that's the
level
tough
below.
part is Arsenal's team currently strong enough to survive with a Koeman for 2 years?
I
think
honestly think so.
Okay.
Because I think he's the type of manager who'll bring in the right players.
All right.
He seems to
Absolutely.
address the weaknesses
Yeah,
of a team,
he
and I
does.
love that
Dude,
about
he'd
him.
pull in some Dutch boys through the youth academies, like just pick them up.
Virgil.
He'd bring Virgil. He brings Virgil. He brings Lukaku. Arsenal can win the league.
See, the
I'm all
sad
good.
thing is he doesn't leave.
I hope
just
he
started
stays
this
for like
Everton
at least
project.
5 years or something,
Yeah.
man. Because
I
now
think he's
too
going to be
long,
like Pochettino. Pochettino, I think he's got another. I think depending on the season, if they sell like a stud of his this season, I think he leaves in the summer of 2018 for a bigger club because now Tottenham goes back to their old ways of selling.
You saying
Yeah.
Pochettino?
Yeah,
So-
Pochettino. So I think Koeman's on that same track. He's going to build
He goes
up
Arsenal.
Everton, get Everton becoming a weirdly like top 4 challenger, even if they don't make it. Tottenham 2 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
was exactly like that. And that's when I think he springboards to an Arsenal. I don't think he's done enough yet at Southampton or Everton
Not
to
one
warrant
year.
Arsenal coming in for him. But to your point, he'd been a nice fit at
Left
the
turn there.
Gooners.
Left turn.
No, I'm just thinking if we're talking about the Spurs, if they make top 4 the next 2 years, I don't think the players would want to leave.
I think it depends.
Even Ali, even
Well, that
Harry
I don't
just
Kane.
makes
think
it
it's up to
tough.
the players, man. It's up to the owner, Dan
You're under
Levy,
contract.
dude. Yeah,
Well,
man.
I
I don't think Bale. I don't
think they're gonna sell them.
I think
I
it's
don't
both.
think anyone's gonna be sold like that.
Especially
not.
this year. Think about it. If Spurs do make Champions League this year with a Man U who spent an exorbitant amount, and Arsenal who's had the same manager and been making it, at Liverpool who has a new manager, if somehow they
Bro, it's-
seem like that team is
it's-
going
that-
to make it.
That's the thing, man. It's all up to Dan Levy. He's the one that sets the pace. They could finish top 4, and he's like, I'm going to cash out. This is the big payday I was waiting for. I have 3 Gareth Bales on my team. Let's make it rain. And then in another 4 or 5 years, we develop another 2-3 Gareth Bales, and we sell them again. This is the year, finally, where they have 2 or 3 studs. They can't pull a Leicester. They can't sell one of them and see, okay, maybe we can get along without Ali. Maybe we can get along without Eriksson or Kane.
Even Toby Alderweireld is back, and I
shouldn't-
I made a mistake last week thinking that he was out like 6 weeks or 4 weeks or something like that. He's back too. He's another guy who can go for 50 plus.
Exactly. So if they hold those pieces, yeah, man, this Tottenham team is going to be scary.
Yeah.
Very
I
scary.
mean, they should have had second last year. They were in
They
Champions.
should've
They were in
arguably had
Champions
first,
League.
yeah.
They should. Arsenal
didn't
should have
stumble.
been first. All right.
Agreed.
But
Agreed.
Anyway,
I'm going to cry myself to
but
sleep.
yeah, they finished third. Like Champions League, they sucked in Champions League this year. But if they qualify again, like 2 years in a row, I don't think they've ever done that. 2
Then you
years in a row.
begin getting the mentality
Yes.
of,
Consistency.
okay, now we know what to
Now you're
expect
a
in
buyer
Champions
club.
League.
Yep.
Now we're taking it on.
Like, Tottenham's getting serious. They're building something here because they're qualifying. So, yeah, it's a statement thing. And Koeman will hopefully be there, man, with Everton.
so.
I'd love to see it. Then you have 7-8 teams in this league fighting for top number 1.
It's only a
All
matter
right.
of time.
Poor Man City Swansea. We took mad left turns, but
And man,
I
of
guess
the
there's
match.
not much to say in this one. I mean, Man City being Man City.
Other than
Tom
Gabby
with his
Jesus.
Credit to
Love 'em.
Swansea though, man. Second half, like they balled.
Yes.
I mean, Man City had the first half. Second half though, Swansea playing Swansea
Yeah.
football again for the first time in like a year and a half.
Yep.
Like a long time, just knocking it around and dominating. Man.
I think that has a lot
Tor
to
is
do
so
with
fucking slow, no
Yeah.
legs, so it was easy.
It has a lot to do with Leroy Fair too. Seems like he wants to play again finally. So
He was working.
he's back.
He was working hard.
Good for him. Man of the match on this one. I think
Gabby.
It's a pretty obvious one.
The
Little
kid.
Gabby.
Yeah.
How's he gonna be worried about it?
No,
Gabby?
dude. The kid's a beast. He's basically Sterling needs to write some notes on this guy on how to finish that ball.
I don't
Sterling
know how
doesn't finish
Sterling
either one of
catches
those.
shots.
Nah, dude, it's not in his natural game. Gabby's a natural finisher. You
That's
can
what I'm
tell.
saying. It's just
No, but Sterling's a creator, dude. It's different roles.
Yeah.
even if you want to put Aguero on, put Gabby in for Sterling, they still have a potent lineup.
I wouldn't be surprised if Sterling's the type of guy who enjoys more assisting the
Oh.
goal than scoring. Might be
No.
close. Might be close.
No.
Anywho,
And you know,
You're just grilling me, man. Like, damn, you got
The way
mad
you're
at me,
saying
bro?
it,
You're just like,
the
no.
way
you
Yeah,
said it.
maybe.
No.
maybe
No.
he just enjoys the assist more than the goal.
Leicester City officially the
Like my
worst.
sultry voice.
The ladies' man over here,
Offici-
Cavassier.
officially the worst start for a Premier League champion in history. Man, getting smacked up 3-0 2 at home.
You know why I hate that stat? Because it's like we're 23, 24. The worst start. It's 24 games in. The start is like September, August, October. After that, I guess I get the point.
Or
now.
actually,
but no one's ever finished outside the top 4 hardly after they won the league.
But that's the point, man.
Yeah,
like
well,
this is
Their relegation fodder.
Their dip in form was replicated in the 30s. That's the last time a team dipped this hard after winning a
But
season.
That's how
was
you
that
know
team-
they were lucky as hell last
yeah.
year.
But was
It was form.
that team playing Champions League?
Doesn't matter.
X Factor.
all the
X
stars
Factor,
aligned.
bro.
Let's trial. They've
All
only
the
played
stars
6
aligned.
Champions League games. 6. We haven't got to the knockout stages. They played 6 extra games. That's it. They just. It's either they were lucky or Conte is one of the world's best players that has
In that
ever
position.
existed.
But they also had the momentum. They also had
Ever.
confidence. And the thing, Vardy was scoring. Myers was just dancing with the ball. Schmeichel would have saved probably Mkhitaryan's goal today. It's just one of those things where last year things just clicked.
And that's that difference between being world class and having a good season. That's why I'm always iffy on players, because it's easy to have a good season when no one's game planning you. You know, this year
Mahrez.
everyone's game planning Mahrez. Everyone's game planning Vardy. They're playing different shape.
You don't have to worry
force-
about Conte.
You don't have to worry about Conte. So now you're getting joy in the middle. So, you know, Danny Drinks is getting exposed for the player he was, which
Got
is
an
the argument.
early yellow card in this
But
game.
props to him. Absolutely still kept his fire going all
Yeah.
game and didn't even come close to a second yellow. That's a sign of a good professional.
You brought up the word iffy, man. I'll tell you who I'm most iffy on this Leicester team. Robert Huth.
You see the goal?
There's no iffy, bro.
That
Yeah.
first goal, man.
Robert
Why are you
Huth has
stepping?
to
There's no-
exit the starting lineup.
Yeah, there's
toast.
no iffy anymore. I mean, I think that's the problem with Ranieri, is that he made these guys untouchable, and now if he drops either one of them, it's gonna rattle the side. Early in the season, when Leicester was struggling, Huth and Morgan should have sat down. Maybe not Morgan so much because he's your captain, but either way, these two are just not playing well, man.
He invested in attack and not defense.
Yes.
He should have known Robert Huth was a little bit older. Yes, Wes Morgan as well is in his 30s and was his first time last year playing top flight football. But either way, man, Robert Huth, man, we know he's like somewhat of a robot. You know, he's not the most
Stiff as
mobile
fuck,
guy.
yeah.
And in the first goal, Mkhitaryan scores. It's a great touch. All credit to Mkhitaryan. Touches it beyond him, but he's flat-footed. He's on his heels. And Wes Morgan's a guy who's forced to try cover him. So it's like, who else are they gonna put in there? Vasilevsky at center back.
Not an option.
You know what I mean? So they Leicester invested in Slimani, Ahmed Musa, all these attacking names, Ndidi, even in the midfield trying to replace Conte. You forgot about your back line.
That I'll agree with. He was so concerned with Conte. The only thing that I think they got Hernandez for right back, and then he wasn't anything good.
Nothing.
And then I think they got rid of Hernandez, actually. I got to check on that. And they just got rid of Schlupp. So they're actually getting rid of defenders.
Yeah. Instead of trying to get a center back and upgrade, you knew Wes Morgan was going to be Wes Morgan. Dude, he's played a ridiculous amount of games for them.
Check this out. If Huth is having a bad season, what if you put Fuchs, who's kind of lost step, where Huth is, and if you kept Schlupp, you put him at left back.
Fuchs and
Fuchs,
Huthas?
Whatever. Well, you know what I'm
Fuchs
talking
and Huthas?
about. I did say Huth. I didn't say
Fuchs,
Huth.
bro.
Said Huth is.
I don't give a
Sounded like
fuck.
Huthas.
There you
Well,
go.
Fuchs.
F-O-O-K.
Well, you slide him to the middle, and you put Schlupp before they sold him on the left side.
Fook was getting exposed.
And
Yeah,
Fook was probably
Fauch's, yeah.
on the outside.
him and Huth. That
Although-
left side of the defense was the worst.
Although
On
he had that rescue tackle against Mkhitaryan, which was studly, man. That was an important
That's
tackle.
like
But now that
tackle.
he's also getting older. We lose a step, put him as a
Entire
center back.
defense.
He's still a smart player. He put a faster guy on the
I
outside.
put him at center back, man. He's too small, dude.
I was about
Just-
to say, you gotta be
Just
physical.
buy a center back.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
I mean,
I'm saying if they didn't want to buy somebody before they sold Schlupp.
again, it comes down to there's just no too much availability in January, man. If you look at the teams that were able to make pickups, the teams like Burnley, I think BROM made a couple pickups, Hull City. Like, it's very hard for a team like Leicester, who's looking to really, like, mid-table challenge, to pick up a player, man. Everton got lucky with Schneiderlin, but other than that, it's
Schneiderlin
so hard.
was signing that
And I
one.
think
that's a great
Ranieri doesn't
signing.
want to rock the boat anyway. He knows that
That's
this
his
team
biggest-
won it. So
That's his biggest problem is
Yeah.
that the messages he's pulling Mourinho. The players, they were even saying that, the players, there's rumors that the players aren't, receiving his message anymore. And it's so hard, man. We underrate that ability to be able to rebuild your team every 3 to 5 years.
that's so important. You can have success once or twice, maybe even 3 times.
Yes.
But once you stay at a club beyond 4, 5 years,
And you're still challenging, and you're still
how
winning.
can you as a manager reinvent yourself?
Exactly.
How can you reinvent your system, what you say in the locker room, how you challenge your players? That's what makes you great.
You know what
in
it
my
comes
opinion.
down to is the fear of not having a fear of losing any player. Fergie did it to maybe his detriment. Wenger does it. He's never afraid to lose a player.
But
Poch,
I-
Pochettino
And
at
Wenger
Tottenham right
hasn't
now.
won anything, man. But I'll give him credit, dude. He's been top 4 since the Invincibles. You
And
know
it's
what I mean?
about
So
the
like,
system.
he's still rebuilding. Whether he's rebuilding enough to win, you can argue that. But this dude, like, you got rid of literally all your legends,
You got
and
rid
you're
of your
still
heart.
challenging. Yeah.
your heart.
And you're still challenging. So it goes to speak to his abilities. Hopefully Ranieri can survive the season, but there's already rumors, of who was it, Mancini. They're taking a look at another Italian guy. So
This was very unique in that we talked a lot about Leicester. And typically we just usually cover Man United.
Well, let's
Yeah.
talk about Zlatan's goal for a second. I mean,
Oh, you mean his
Wait, he
15th
scored
goal of the
Yeah,
season?
That's fine.
He
Is
scored
his
again?
15th
That's fine.
goal? His
That's fine.
20th in all
Look,
comps?
we've talked
out of
about it
30?
many times.
You nervous, bud?
We're talking about it now.
No, I'm not. No, because
Of the day.
no, we've
This is
we've
voting
all
day.
we've all talked
So is
about
he
this a
done
lot.
now, Huss? Is he not
And
gonna
basically,
score any more
we all
goals?
know that I don't care about how many. It's more or less, is he going to score the big goals against the big
Oh
teams
my
to get them
God.
into the top 4?
Hey, if you
So the
scored
thing
one
is-
goal against fucking who'd you just play? Hull? That's a big goal.
Yeah.
You win. That's a big
So-
goal. You played Hull,
so-
but you won 1-0. That's
Okay.
a big goal.
Okay, so anyways, getting back to Leicester.
Just
So-
ignore that. That
So
fact.
the defense again for Leicester, the way who was that? Was that?
Leicester or Man U?
Oh,
Zlatan's first
Valencia.
goal.
Valencia was
Zlatan's
going
first
down.
goal.
I think it was, and it was Fuchs that was
Wish
on the Leicester.
Farid was here.
Yeah.
Dude,
on the
like,
Valencia,
where-
he ducked up.
It was, but then you see Wes Morgan. Zlatan just backs up. Wes Morgan just leaves the mark. Zlatan's
No,
wide
no,
open
you
in the
know-
middle. It was a great cross. But then why is Fuchs just? Come
Nah,
on,
man, you know what it is, dude? That cutback pass, cutback cross is so impossible to defend. That's when you're hoping.
Second goal.
Well, that's because Fuchs.
yeah,
that's when
that's
you're
a second
hoping-
goal, Huss.
That's when you're hoping
second
that.
goal. I said the last time
That's
goal.
when you're hoping that a
Yeah.
guy like Conte is dropping in, covering that. Drinkwater should be covering that cutback because Valencia had 2 options. You could have whipped it back post to Rashford, across the ground, and that's the angle Morgan has to cover. You have to cover that. Fuchs, the similar thing. You have to stop that ball coming through. Then your midfield has to watch that cutback, and Zlatan was smart enough to see that there was no trailing midfield. He stopped his run. Morgan obviously is committed to stopping the ball coming across, and he gets a tap in.
But that's what I was talking about with Fuchs, where
So
he
clean.
lost
back to
that.
back. 1 goal,
he-
2 goals.
He lost that step that he had last year, so now he
Yeah.
has to give Valencia that give because he can't stay with him.
Yeah.
He goes down the line. So if you do have a schlep back there and you do push Fuchs into the middle, I think that is a better defense. I know we're playing
My
So
question
now-
is,
so now
why
you
does-
want
why does
Schlep
why does
back.
Wes
I-
Morgan
no.
have to step out?
No, I like Schlep as a defender. I didn't like him going forward.
But why does Wes Morgan have to step out for that cross? Because the
It-
left back's nowhere to be found.
Oh no,
And
I-
that's why
one of the two. I wish
That
there
was
was
one of the reasons
communication.
he had a
with
terrible game.
why I want
Fuchs.
one of the center backs to step out. Where you guys have to have communication where someone stays back, someone pushes forward. You can't leave someone wide open, especially as
And that's
Zlatan
on-
at the 12 yards
It's
out.
on Wes Morgan too. I don't want to make it seem like
Yeah.
it's also not on Wes Morgan, but Wes Morgan has a priority to close the ball down.
Yeah.
Fuchs
The
has to
ball's the biggest
slide
threat.
to Ibrahimovic, and the left back, you're actually the one who's supposed to be stopping that cross. So I think Morgan's reacting. It's as I usually say, it's a comedy of errors. Okay, it's not just one person's fault. But in that second goal, Wes Morgan's trying to step up and close out the cross. Fuchs needs to slide in, and Huth needs to slide in and get on Ibra. and Fuchs should be back there, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be back there. So it's just he gets burnt. He was a little bit lucky, but yeah, I mean the ball goes through Wes Morgan's legs. Like, what are you
Dude,
gonna
clipped
do?
his nuts on the way through. It looked like it was close, dude. Like
What
He
nuts?
could've did-
right?
What nuts?
What are you gonna do, man?
Took him with him, dude. That's Tom, man. Fucking Mkhitaryan, bro.
What, this
I
is his
can't-
first,
Yeah, who was
this is
asking?
Mkhitaryan's first assist in the EPL for his third goal.
No, I don't know about that. I'm not saying you're wrong. That sounds incorrect, but you could be right. Either way, man, it's all the little stuff. You know me, man. I get excited about the little stuff off the ball, the movement, those little tricky turns. You know, the stuff they don't really show when they're showing you a highlight tape. But his goal, man, that ability.
I'm right. You're wrong.
1
Okay.
assist, 3 goals. Yeah,
Cool, that's fine. But how many goals?
All comps.
3 goals.
What's
Yeah,
all
I'll take
comps
that.
looking like?
As long as his productivity's up,
That's
I don't
his
care.
first
He's been
assist
scoring.
of the season.
You
All
score.
comps.
Yeah.
That's where for me having a midfielder who can score. That's what I'm impressed by. You know, the fact that he can either assist, and sure he only has 1 assist, but you watch him play, he's constantly looking for that through ball, constantly a threat. He can dribble and beat you with speed,
Dude, he's dangerous.
and he can break in, man. He can do so many things
You know
offensively.
what? He's a lot faster than I thought.
That's what.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
he's quick, but
He's
he's
a lot
got
faster than I
pace
thought,
too.
Sleeping on this dude,
Yeah.
man.
I-
He's faster than I thought.
I'll
He's
say that
fast. He's got touch.
Wes
he's got
Morgan was
vision.
faster than I thought because I wasn't sure. I mean,
No, I always knew Morgan was
Because
fast.
I didn't know.
fast.
I didn't know he was that fast.
He doesn't have
big, but he's
acceleration,
fast. Yeah.
but like
You're not
over
gonna-
20,
yeah.
30 yards,
Yeah,
bro.
He's Jamaican, so
He'll catch
I mean,
it.
he's fast.
Yeah, he's been chilling with Usain Bolt.
Sterling also Jamaican.
Not
Yes.
Jamaicans
What?
in the EPL.
Mm.
Shout out to Troops, Arsenal
So-
Fan TV.
Is he Jamaican?
So if you're Leicester,
You
do you
ham
let
roll.
Ranieri
ham
go?
roll. I love it.
What's that?
Do you fire Ranieri if you're Leicester?
No.
No, but
This
then-
guy
then I-
won.
well,
This guy.
well, the thing is,
Even if you get
I'm a-
relegated, you don't fire
Well, the-
Ranieri. You talk to him in
Look.
a corner office and you say, please leave.
Fix this.
No, no,
Yeah.
no.
Or fix
I don't
this
even
or
think
leave.
this, man. I
It's
think
mutually.
I just
at
think-
worst case.
Nah, man. I think you rebuild the squad. You start cutting the old deadwood. Huth either got to go or bench him. He's done, dude. He's done. He doesn't belong in this league. It's too mobile. It's way too mobile for guys like this now. You cannot afford to have guys like Huth. I
Two
don't
of them.
think he's the only problem, but that's an easy guy you fix.
What I will say is, if Arsenal are going to keep Per Mertesacker, you keep Huth in the
Oh,
squad.
of course. Yeah, you keep
but
him on the bench.
You bring on a
Depending-
new guy. 'Cause
Depending on his attitude.
he's
If he's a guy who's happy to ride the bench and be that, that father figure, Gerrard wasn't happy to do that at
No.
Liverpool, and I don't blame anyone who
he's
is.
a
People want to play.
superstar. Yeah,
Exactly. So if Huth is happy, being that supportive kind of dude, fine,
doubt.
keep him.
no doubt.
I just think I don't know if he'll be happy doing that. You know,
he's a lot younger than I thought he is.
Who?
Huth, 32.
Yeah.
I thought he was like 35.
He's been around for a long time,
yeah, it's
man.
because
Yeah.
he was at Liverpool, right?
he also
Chelsea.
back in the day.
Chelsea,
Playing for a
04.
while, man.
But
Was
no,
it?
I,
Or am I thinking Hoopy?
I mean, I agree with you
Yeah.
guys. I agree with you guys with Ranieri. He just won you the league. I mean, I know we
You
can-
said to get rid of him.
No. I
was
said,
asking. He
would
was
you?
asking.
Oh.
I said, would you? That's why you guys jumped off. I was like, relax. No, I was asking a question because that's been one of the big questions that people have been talking about.
I don't think you do, man. This guy's won you. He's shown that he can win. The only difference is that you just need different players.
5,000 to 1 odds.
Come on, man. Like,
I wish.
or at
Oh
the
my
least,
God,
let him
why
finish
not?
out the season. I know it's a little scary though. It's easy for us to say. You got hundreds of millions on the line in TV rights. Look, if they get
They
rid
have
of
a
him,
billionaire
I
owner,
understand. Yeah, I get.
Financially, they're sound.
But still, man, your plans with it. They probably after they won the league, they had a 10-year pro forma, 10-year sort of like
10-year plan.
Yeah, a 10-year plan. Like this
5-year
is how
plan
we're
at
gonna
least,
grow
yeah.
the plan, the company.
This was not part of it.
This wasn't part of it. So
Relegation was not part
I
of
wouldn't blame him if they got rid of him. Personally, I don't think they should. But I always try to look at the business end of things as well. I know I'm passionate about the game, but I also like business. So they get rid of him. I get it, man. Like you're trying to stay in this league, and he's not. It's the transfer window's over, so his chance to get fresh blood is gone.
And PFC Nation, just to give you an idea of where Leicester City currently stands. So obviously, they miraculously won the EPL last year. And this year, they're sitting in 16th with 21 points. The last place team, Sunderland, has 19 points. So if Sunderland wins one match and Leicester loses one match, all of a sudden, they're
Roles reversed.
arguably at the bottom of the table. So when we say relegation battle, this is
They're
real.
in it
This
now.
is not an exaggeration at all.
That's scary, man. It's sad. But hopefully the fear doesn't set in.
Dude, here's
But I like what we've been saying, man. Just need someone more dynamic.
the question,
Than
bro.
Huth.
Carib, proposed to me when we were watching this game.
No, you did that a couple weeks ago.
Good catch, Russington. Would you rather be like Leicester, come down from Division 4? I mean, come up from like Division 2, 3, winning. You come up,
Go
you
right
win
back
the
down.
league, but now you're back to reality like
Exit.
that.
You bow.
So they might stay in, or would you rather be like sort of like an Arsenal type, where like you're always kind of in the race, but
No,
deep down you
want,
know
you win it, bro. You gotta win it.
We
You
actually-
you beat Leicester.
gotta win it, bro.
I
with
posed
you,
that
bro.
question. I posed that question to Tom maybe like 3-4 weeks ago. Where like, would you rather win the league and go down to 10th, or just keep getting 4th place?
Yeah, I think
I'd rather
Hey,
go to Chelsea.
What's your answer?
I'd
You
rather
gotta
go
get the
Leicester.
league, win that
I'd rather
league.
be Leicester.
At least just one time. Just
You know why? Because
Cool.
the ambition, at least the ambition, shows the fans what you want to do. You want to win. And the problem with a team like Arsenal is that the fans, yes, we have a problem with Arsene Wenger, but we also have a problem with Stan Kroenke and the board at large. What is your ambition? Is it to win, or is it to get fat and rich and qualify for Champions League and get your millions and be fine with that? So a level consistency of mediocrity, that's probably the worst thing that could happen to any club.
Cool.
Aim, set your expectations high.
I dig that. Man, I keep watching the Mickey goal, bro. That just put Huth on his knees, basically. Dude,
He's so quick.
Huth was just like, oh,
But you
God.
see his head after he stepped forward. He's like, all right, I got this. But he never had it.
He almost collapsed.
Then he was
He
like,
so
oh,
dejected.
shit. He's like, I'm not going to get that ball.
everything,
I'm gonna
everything
run
about
back
that goal that he did. The first touch, the sprinting.
And he touched it with the bottom of his
Oh.
stud, so you know, like, his intention was to jab it by Huth, you know, like, kick it far enough to where Huth can't stick his leg out, can't recover, but still maintain control to where Morgan can't come in and clean you
And I
out.
thought
Well-
he messed up the touch before that. I was like, shoot it.
He's like, nope.
He's like, "No, I'm
well
taking another
worth the
touch."
price tag.
Oh, yeah, man.
Nah.
I think he was basically free, dude.
Nah.
He
Like,
was.
any guy who comes from any of the top
26?
leagues that played a role in 50 goals, whether he's Syria,
That got
League
best
or-
player.
I will take him. And we didn't pay $100 million for this guy. So even if he ends up being a maybe 7 to 10 goals a season kind of guy, I will take that from a midfielder.
He's actually
And he's
one
27.
Dude, he's
He's
like
priming.
prime.
He's priming.
He's actually like
26 million pounds.
he's like the one
insane.
dude that actually made the
35
Pogba signing like
million.
reasonable. Because if you take those two plays and what they should have been sold for, I mean Pogba, I mean that was sold what he is.
Yeah,
Mickey
his
should have been
return.
sold for like 40 or 50, where then you can drop that price tag on, so they equal out, kind of like
his return on
more
investment is higher with Mickey because he spent less, expectations are lower, but he's also scoring. That assist he got to Mata, that vision, that was great. Morgan unfortunately fell asleep, held him on.
Kids, please watch the third goal. Classic give and go.
But the build up
1,
before
2.
that too.
Yeah.
Had the ball, knock it
there
around.
were- there was-
But the Mkhitaryan, Mata, the little
Mata
guys.
has
What
to
did I,
start.
what did
Little
I
touches?
say, man?
Mata's gotta start.
Mickey has to start too. I know you guys love Rashford and Martial and all that, you know, taking people on, and it's
Depending
cool.
on the game.
But it depends on the game, and these kids are starting to get figured out. Rashford, you saw today, every time he had the ball, they were giving him
he had a
5
couple
to
good
8
chances
yards.
though.
Couple good
He did.
chances, but he wasn't the same, man. If you saw, he wasn't taking people on. He was slowing the ball down,
Or they just
looking
back
for
off of it.
options.
They'll give him 8 yards and force him
That's-
to make that pass.
That's how you nullify that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, rotate these guys in, man. Martial should be getting time. Rashford should be getting time.
Martial
But guys
got
like
no
Mickey,
time today.
guys like Mickey and Mata are ready now, dude. They're ready now.
Well, when we talked about last year, Rashford, when they say younger players are almost naive, some of them, where they just go 1,000 miles an
there's no
hour when they
fear.
get on. Just like Rashford. Last year, he went 1,000 miles an hour. This year, you see it at times, but he's not doing every single second.
Yeah, he's starting to think a lot more.
Yeah.
Which that's when you figure out who the player really is. Like, everyone knows you're speedy. Everyone knows you can dribble.
So now you have to adapt.
Exactly. Now you have to know when to do it, and that's when that intelligence and mentality comes
Before
in.
you were some 18-year-old nobody.
Yeah, no one knew
No
you.
one,
Yeah.
no one,
Just
no
like
one's respecting
Januzaj.
you, and then bang. You go,
Just-
shit.
Just like
adapt,
Januzaj.
adapt or
Yeah.
get sold to some French team.
Yeah.
Memphis.
Or Sunderland.
Touche.
Yeah, good one, boss.
Thank you.
Man of the match.
I got Mkhitaryan, bro.
Samesies.
Just for starting it off right, getting that first goal, great finish too, as
Love
usual.
this dude, man.
Wish he came to
Dude, there were
Liverpool.
moments when United
He
was
got Mane,
stroking
bro.
the ball, dude. It was so amazing. Like, couldn't finish the ball, obviously. Couldn't finish the goal, but, like, would have, like, 2 minutes of possession, working it around, inside, outside, flicks everywhere. Like, they're looking good, man. I'm very happy with this club.
Clicking 3 draws in a row in the league, finally blow some steam with a 3-0 win.
And we have less losses than I think City and Arsenal.
3.
You know what I mean?
We have 9 draws though.
that's
We're
that's
tied
the
with fucking like West Brom, not West Brom, Middlesbrough, I think.
Yeah.
Most draws.
Yeah, it is Middlesbrough.
9.
Dude, and that's when I started to soften on Griezmann, because you start to think you have that guy, that Diego Costa, who'll get you that 1-0 goal. That's when you win championships, man. We're not losing. Our defense is fine. Bailly, reckless as hell.
A couple of JV knee traps in there.
So liable, dude. Every time he's in there, I'm nervous, but I'm excited because
How about that little dance he had with Fuchs, dude?
chest to chest, these guys
We're
are
just grabbing.
tangoing out there. What about him and Vardy on the outside, looking like he was about to scrap and like popped
Wait,
up
who?
and just
Yeah, dude.
Bailly and Vardy.
Oh, Vardy's playing? Oh, I thought you retired.
They made a movie on this dude.
What is it?
Yeah,
5
yeah,
goals, 2
flop.
assists this year? Oh, yeah.
Bro, he's having a nightmare.
My man of the match,
What,
Chris
Vardy?
Smalling.
Yeah.
Whoa,
He had-
what?
He had the
Wow.
assist on the
Had
first
himself
goal.
an assist,
Look at
bro.
you, bro. Look
Come
at
on.
you, man.
Had himself an assist, and look, he had a couple of like weird moments. Like, I don't know, I'm nitpicky when it comes to defense. He
Agreed.
like cleared it out, and it was a corner kick. It should have been a throw. Like,
Yes,
little
I saw
thing,
that
like,
one.
Just
Yep.
goofy stuff.
Yeah,
Where I'm like,
yep.
mate, clean it up.
Yes,
But
agreed.
all in all, man of the match.
What do
Pretty
you
solid
think of Rojo off at half? It's not good out there anymore, man. He's too aggressive. He's too aggressive. Always tries to win the ball
Not left
at
back,
left
bro.
back. That's what I'm saying. He's
Yeah.
not good out there. Like
I don't
at
like
left
him
back.
out there.
No.
Unless we're playing someone weak, which we did today, but still he got subbed off.
Yeah, because he was threatening a yellow card, dude. Every time
I don't like him at left back.
it doesn't work
He
there.
can do the job, especially I think
Yeah.
in like in a 3-5-2. I think he's perfect at like left center back. He
Yeah.
can sometimes
Yeah.
bomb forward.
Yeah,
D
yep.
mid can sit, but in a 4-4 whatever.
Yeah.
Is it beep boop time?
Man of the match.
Oh, we already did man of the match.
Did you?
Yeah.
What was yours?
Yeah, same. I said same as with Mickey.
Mickey
Love it.
Mouse.
Yeah, it's boop boop.
Beep boop.
That's a nine
There you go.
goal thriller. Absolute 9
Game
goal
of the
thriller.
weekend,
Tom
man.
choosing a weird time to leave. Lukacs.
Yeah, just have to get up.
Emergency sesh. Lukaku scoring 4 goals, sticking it to
Everybody in this room but me and Tom.
essentially.
You fucking bums.
No, because I had
Top goal scorer in the EPL,
Wait,
a
what-
league that contains
Hey.
Alexis Sanchez, Zlatan, Aguero, Diego, all these guys. Lukaku, number 1.
You saying number 1 goal scorer?
As it stands, he is.
I know. Yeah. Okay. In the stats.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I thought you were talking about if you're making a team, you'd choose him over Costa or Alexi.
Honestly,
But
if you
you know
put
what?
him in a pool, like
Tiki-
age into consideration, he's 23.
Tiki and I never said he was.
massive upside.
Tiki and I never said he was bad, and we both had him in fantasy,
You
so
had
we
him
do
on
believe.
suspect list.
But like
was,
again,
though. I don't
even
get
this
it.
year, he only scored
You
in
just
2
didn't- you
games.
just didn't believe.
He scored in 2 games
No,
out
see,
of 9, so
you-
he did disappear a little bit. That's over. That's 2
that's
months.
like Liverpool winning 2 games out of 10.
Yeah, but that's what we
And-
call
and
Liverpool
you
suspects.
say, you say that's suspects. You just destroyed yourself.
No, Liverpool's not.
No, you just destroyed yourself.
I'm just bringing
You,
up.
because if Liverpool and Lukaku are the same, and you're praising Lukaku.
I'm not saying
but
they're
you're
the
not
same.
praising. So you're praising Liverpool. Thank you.
No, Liverpool's not suspect though. They're not suspect. So you destroyed
defense
yourself.
No, they're
retroactively.
Liverpool's suspect for what they should be doing.
That's what suspect is. It's basically suspect doesn't mean you suck. It means do your expectations match your current performance. At the time, Lukaku wasn't. If you're gonna be a top 4 player, at that time, his pressure didn't equal his performance, and that's why Chelsea didn't come in. No one came in for Lukaku this summer or this
'Cause they're
summer
fools.
Sure, call them fools, but they're looking at the numbers, analytics. They're looking at his performance. He's been accused of being lazy. He's a lot less lazier this year because Koeman's not the type of manager to put up with laziness. Just ask, what's his name, Delafeu, got shipped out ASAP. Offensively, the guy's brilliant. Cannot drop in cover. Koeman doesn't put up with that shit. So, at the time when we did this list, and it's weird because I keep trying to pull up the list to see who else was on there that's having a good year. Fuck yeah, this year, Lukaku's not on the suspect list, guys. It's not personal Lukaku.
But
I just had to bring it
so-
up.
You know
All right,
who...
but
But
I
even
won't-
so,
I won't even go at you about that because like that's a standard
Well,
line of
but
defense
Tom,
guys.
Tom,
you know,
if
But-
Lukaku,
Hold
okay,
on, let me finish. Let me finish. The question. A couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple episodes ago, you were really like borderline. Is Lukaku a top 4 forward? I don't know. Are you still that way?
okay,
yeah,
yeah, get this
I-
one real quick.
Go ahead.
Okay, so if Arsenal buys Lukaku over the summer, and if
First place.
Lukaku
Yeah, man, how you gonna pose me a question after I just asked you a question?
Because I'm going to answer it with a question. Where if Arsenal buys Lukaku during the summer and he does only score in 2 games out of 9 during the winter, are you telling me Arsenal fans are going to say, "Oh, we have Lukaku"? No, Arsenal fans are going to say, "You know what? January's coming up. We got to buy someone else. We got to maybe sit him."
Was that a question or a statement? You just made a statement.
It's both.
No. You just made a statement.
Look,
hold on. Before we get on this, okay, Ibra scored one goal in 7 games. Ibra, Hussey, 1 goal in 7 games for Ibra. It was 2 and 7. It was 1 game. That was a little dip. Yeah.
What was that?
Well done, Tom.
What was that? Was that your alarm?
Looking for AFCON.
2 and 9, 3 and 9.
No, but the difference
1 and 7.
The difference with Zlatan is that he has reputation. If
reputation, but we're looking at
if Sturridge
totally
does
different.
that, what do we say?
Dude, look at his record. Going on Lukaku's reputation that he has since he's been professional. He's the youngest player to reach 50 goals in the Prem.
Yeah, bro.
Like, his stats are crazy. So like, his reputation is in good standing. He's not Zlatan.
Dude, he gets judged harshly. You know why? Because he's going for a top 4 position.
He's on
who's going to start getting judged harshly? Gabi Jesus. We're going to start getting judged harshly. Because that's what happens, guys. The reason why Lukaku even comes up for debate is because we're trying to figure out, is this guy going to be a premier Didier Drogba sitting there in the top 4? As of now, it looks that way, but he needs to put together 2 seasons in a row where he's balling.
He's done that. He's doing that. Last year and this year.
No, I don't think last year.
And
I
when you
think
have
that
it wasn't complete, but he was balling.
What you have to judge him on
100%.
is also who was his manager, because we also want to give Koeman
you can say all that, but at the end of the day, no one put their money in Lukaku last summer, which means there were pieces still missing from this guy, which means top 4 clubs haven't been sold on this guy. No one came in with offers. Everton didn't have to reject shit for Lukaku. There was more heat on Barkley than there was on Lukaku. So all I'm saying is at the time, dude, all I'm saying is at the time when we were looking at this, Lukaku wasn't playing like a guy who's going to go to a top 4 club.
And that's because
you know who else was on our suspect list?
Why wasn't he playing like that?
Dude, whether it's his team or not, there are plenty of young.
When you're 22 years old, that
100%. But there are plenty of players. There are plenty of players who play on smaller teams who make it into the top 4. That's the standard we look at, man. You can't look at a guy like a young guy and say, "Oh, he plays on a shit team.
And
maybe we should bring him in United."
This is bringing up old shit because this is your classic defense or whatever, and it works. It works because he did have a cold year.
Yeah, but
he did have a cold year.
That's all I'm saying.
At the end of the season, because his team collapsed and the manager got fired.
No, it wasn't at the end.
No, it wasn't at the end. It started in February, bro.
But either way, my point is he ended up with 18 goals as a 22-year-old in the EPL.
100%, but that wasn't enough for.
So what I'm looking at is now, I'm asking, is he top 4?
Well,
right now,
we all did when we were 22, we should be talking about any of these people.
No, if he comes at United, no. I'm not happy with the Lukaku signing.
Top 4, you're 6th.
No, but okay, Arsenal. You think he's the replacement? Would you rather have Lukaku or Aubameyang? You know what I mean? Like, he's not there yet.
23 years old.
Okay,
and
Gabi.
he scores 4 goals in a game. That's what Aguero does. Andre Arshavin in his prime was doing. You know what I mean?
Andre Arshavin, but that's
dudes like that. But who in their prime? This kid's 23. He's scoring 4 goals in a game.
He's on his way up.
The team
no question.
He's
on
top
his
4.
way up.
He's a top 4 player.
So let's see this summer. Let's see this summer if they pick him up.
This summer, people are going to put him up. But you need to understand that when we bring him up, it's not because we don't believe in him. We're bringing him up because when we stop talking about you, that's when you got to question it.
Yeah, man.
We're talking about because
we talk about Zaha for the same fucking reason, dude. The same reason, because we see the talent is there. We're not sitting there talking about, Brady and them.
But that's 2 different levels. Zaha, this is his first year. 100%. Like, he's producing. Because I agreed with you with Zaha. I saw the talent, but I agreed with you. The final product wasn't there. That was Huss's main point.
But
the final product isn't there.
Lukaku's critique has always been like, this guy can score goals, but he takes naps. And this year, he's showing that he's not taking naps because he has a good manager who's motivating him. Bro, I look at it. It's the same. I know I keep going back to the same argument, but it's because you guys are seeing this as personal. I'm seeing it as more just statistical. He's on his way
obvious.
there.
I'm seeing that you can look at a guy like Romelu Lukaku. I don't know about you, Al, but I can look at Lukaku and I can see, oh, wow, it's obvious to me that the talent is
I'll put it this way.
Yes, the talent is there, but
the mentality to get better is also there.
Okay,
100%. But
he's top 4 in my opinion.
I'll put it this way. When Pogba came into United, he had a few average games. If he kept up that average ability I mean, he started doing a lot better, but if he just kept on being average, at the end of the year, you could say, oh, he's being suspect because he should be
100%, and
he
we
should
all
be
fucking
on
know
the
Pogba's
highest
gonna
level.
be a beast.
And I get your logic and where
And
that's
he's the
coming
same
from,
age,
man.
so
why
I
do you
thought-
guys still cry
You know why?
about
Because I
it?
thought there were other players who should have been there before a 22-year-old. That
y'all
was my
should have voted.
opinion
What,
from
Giroud?
the beginning.
Dude, we got Stones on there,
Yeah,
bro.
he's
We
one of
got
those
Stones
guys.
on the suspect list, and he played on Everton last year. We had Stones on there,
You know
and
why?
he's
Because Stones made errors in defense. That's why he was on there.
and Lukaku took naps for certain periods. As a top 4 forward, look, Lukaku is well on his way, man.
I think that's
There's
where
no
we disagree. is
But
that-
some of those games, man, like of those 9, they were getting dusted. Lukaku touched the ball maybe 5-6 times. And
Dude.
even if like you're a striker, you should score from nothing anyway. When you're getting 5-6 touches, man, like there's a few games in there where he just
And
couldn't even
the
get supply.
manager
The
was
supply line.
fired.
was gone.
100
the team ended up
Yeah.
sucking.
110%
That's it.
agreed. But no one came in. No one made an offer for him.
No, because they're stupid, man. In my
Dude,
opinion.
yeah,
My
but
opinion.
that's your
people
opinion.
should've
But
came in.
you can't tell me that people who do this professionally for a living, scouts, analysts, sporting directors, are all stupid. There's something missing
I
from
know,
his
maybe,
game.
hey,
if
maybe
he
someone
feels
did
it.
look at him, man.
They-
You
I was
never
about to say,
know.
There
man.
were
That's
no
so
official
blanketed.
offers.
I don't
No,
think-
somebody
look
could've
at
looked.
it.
I don't think
Everyone's
Liverpool-
looking at him. There were no official offers. That's my point. No official offers. Everyone's looking at him. Everyone is, because he's
Well,
the
he
next big
needed
thing.
a second season. I mean, no one's going to invest in him.
Thank
But,
you.
but hey,
That's all I'm saying is
Well,
that is he
everyone
hasn't
needs
done
multiple
enough yet.
seasons.
That
If
to
he's-
me
if-
doesn't make him suspect ahead of other players,
Well,
and that's been my point.
but-
Is that
but
there
the-
were other players who we could have nominated
Well, put it
instead
this
of
way:
him.
wasn't Arsenal looking heavier at Vardy than they were at Lukaku?
Yes.
Why?
Well,
That's my fucking
Yeah.
point. Why?
Experience? He was on
What
fire.
experience? No, what experience?
He was on fire.
This is his first time
Yeah.
playing in the Prem. There's no experience.
Experience
Lukaku
in
has no
terms of an
experience.
older player. He's more level-headed. He's more mature. Lukaku was still a young man. Vardy was a grown man. He was 28, 29 years old. That's all I mean in terms of experience. He's an older man in life. The glitz, the glamour, not that big of a deal with him. And he was more on fire. There goes the argument out the window, dude. You know what I mean? Lukaku's a young player, again, who needs a manager who believes in him, like most
110%.
players do.
Can I close
110%.
this so we can move on real quick?
Let's
Quick
do it.
touch. This guy Lukaku, man, he's done it before. In his last 4 or 5 seasons, he's averaged at least double digits in goals in the league. His West Brom 17 goals.
did he keep increasing?
17 goals on West Brom. 17, then
Yeah,
down
man.
to 15 his first year on Everton, 10, 18, and this year he's already at 16.
Well, I'm saying it was
think
like
I really
I'm just
think
saying,
he
dude,
gets
he's been
unfair
double
criticism.
digits
Yeah.
consistently from a striker in the Prem. That's all. Jermaine Defoe is always double digits.
And when that happens and dudes are still kind of questioning you and you're 23 years old,
You're a teenager scoring 17 goals.
that's when I think
on
it's
West
unfair.
I mean,
Because sometimes
I
you look
wish
at these
Liverpool
players
got
and we're
him.
like, wow, they look older than they actually are.
So
And I
while
think
he did
Lukaku falls to that bias.
Well, he did take a nap at the second half of last season.
well, it was
Like,
middle.
You just have to look at what he's done and just I don't
His
know, man.
body work.
I have hope. I have high hopes for this guy. So it's a personal thing. Like I have faith in him. I guess that's what it comes down to is faith or.
I don't even think Liverpool could buy this
Skepticism.
guy being at Everton right now. That'd be a great signing for Liverpool.
You get Sturridge.
Oh, actually,
Lefty.
straight just swap him.
No. Okay.
Sturridge comes with a free cast and some crutches.
Dude, not to be too weird, but Kevin Phillips did a similar thing, man. And it's different players, but like just because
Kevin Phillips was 5'8".
Kevin Phillips pulled a Jamie Vardy, in my
Yes,
opinion.
exactly.
he did
30
it more,
goals in
bro.
the season.
He did it more. He got 30, 14, 11, 12, 10. Like he went like.
But that
5 or
30, that
6
30, if
seasons.
there was no 30, it'd be like, oh, he was a good striker.
That's
how
my
many
point,
years,
man?
though?
Lukaku's on his way up.
Look how young he is. Like Kevin Phillips.
100%. When Kevin
we didn't
Phillips
know about
started,
Kevin Phillips when he was 18 years old.
No.
No one knew about him.
when Kevin Phillips did that, it was in '98. Hold on, let me see.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
No,
But
you're not wrong.
when it
What I'm
comes
saying
to
is
Lukaku,
I love how Kevin Phillips. We always come back to Kevin Phillips.
because
bro.
he was
It's
that
like-
guy.
it's
He was
like-
cuspy.
It's like the
he was
fucking
so cuspy, dude. He could have made it over.
the era that
Never
proves the
did.
rule.
Are we still on quick touch, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. And you guys always get at me.
No, this one was a crazy
This
one.
is a classic. This is a
So
classic
we're blaming
PSN
someone else.
debate.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
this is an old
Everton,
school one.
man.
Classic
Yeah,
PSN
you
debate.
guys don't take the blame on this one, but every time I say something, oh, it's Hussey. You take so long. It's quick touch, dude.
Hey,
Life,
you,
Huss.
hey, you
It's life.
contributed.
It's not long touch.
You contributed.
A little bit.
Yeah,
You
so-
contributed
Your
more.
boy Josh King killed it for Bournemouth. 2 goals. Not too bad, huh?
He's a good pickup.
Yeah.
Frazier getting an assist.
I know I picked Frazier, but he's on the bench.
Dropping points.
Yeah, no, I thought Davies was gonna do more for Everton.
Not
Well,
wrong, son.
I was wrong.
Ross Barkley heels her on, assist with the
my
heel
God.
pass.
What a beautiful
Beautiful.
assist.
He's balling. Him and Lukaku, man, they got a good little. This season, it's really seen their
That's
relationship
little mojo
blossom.
going.
He
Yeah.
reminds me of
But
like
are we
2
still in the
years
same
ago.
game?
But fucking Schneiderlin, bro.
You have 9 goals in this
Yeah,
game.
bro.
too.
This was a good game. This is not like a draw. Like
Schneiderlin, I mean, defense wasn't really a priority, man, but Schneiderlin in this Everton team, bro. You got a French international. Like, you have Gareth Barry, old stalwart, Premier League winner. Tom Davies coming up. Dude, this team is so awesome. I love it. Ashley Williams. Still got
Finally
Phil Jagielka
solidified.
hanging around. You need
Jags
to find
gotta
another
go.
center back.
Yeah, Jack's got to
But, dude,
Jags
you
is
keep him
there.
in the team, though.
But they got Fuentes Mori.
Earlier,
Yeah, I don't know
when
about
we
him.
brought up the Spurs, saying that they're gonna sell not
Why
this year
the
but next
Spurs?
year. No, they're gonna sell in like not this year but next year. Everton is gonna be the team that sells not this year but next year.
You never know. They managed to hold on to Ross Barkley this long, and John Stones up until last year.
Well, we discussed
they see
Koeman
what-
earlier, right? Saying he might stay there for 5+ years.
Build
I don't
something.
necessarily agree with that, but if he is
I
going to
wish.
stay on, is he not going to try keep all these players?
Yeah.
Lukaku may go, but Ross Barkley, he hasn't been having like a breakout year necessarily.
Not
you know?
consistent.
Yeah,
He's
but
playing
if,
well.
if you
but
take out
he's-
Lukaku,
I think
how well does Everton do?
They don't score a lot of goals.
That's what I'm saying. So
Or they could,
that's
man.
the
I mean-
team. That's the team that
So
sells.
he could be the one guy to go, but then even if he goes, what's that, 50, 60 million you have
You
to replace
reinvest
him?
that. Luis
Boom.
Suarez money.
Yeah, but well, there's so much money in the league right now. I mean, West Brom can compete with them on that, who are doing good. So they might that forward might actually go to like a West
But
Brom. rather than
financial fair
Everton.
play wise, it's like you just cleared up 60 mil worth to buy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's great. It looks great on the taxes.
There's so many loopholes with that thing. That's
Yeah.
a waste of time to talk about financial fair play.
FFP
Yeah.
doesn't even matter. Well, look at Real Madrid getting bans, reduced though,
Yeah.
but it's still getting banned.
They're going to buy the world, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
summer.
yeah, they're
It's
just gonna
coming.
go back and drug deal on the corner like they did before they went in.
Juventus.
They're gonna hire.
Crystal Palace.
They're gonna hire Big Sam.
Oh, speaking of Big Sam,
Crystal Palace, dude, we got fans trying to take out players. Bro. Palace.
Dude.
on
I got
the
arrested.
slide.
He
guy was
trying
gonna
to go
slit
at
his
Delaney?
throat. Like he was gonna bite his throat.
It's crazy, dude. Sunderland 4-0 up at half.
And
Unreal.
Delaney's a beast, too. This guy's not a joke, man.
Delaney. Oh yeah, that guy was trying to
the
take on
reported-
Delaney.
Yeah, I think he was the fan was trying to take on
Well,
Delaney.
bro, he got rolled like twice by like Defoe, man, just eaten up. I don't blame him too much. Like
Defoe's a Wrigley bastard.
that's my point, man. It's not
He's
like
just
some nobody came through and scored goals. It's
He's a
Defoe,
veteran.
man.
He's a veteran, man.
4-0.
To me, the guy who I've been, I'm most impressed with Defoe on this team, but the second tier guy, Didier Ndong. He left for the AFCON. He was playing so well before he left as well. Similar like Mane, he leaves. Sunderland really begin to struggle. He comes back. He scores a spectacular left-footed shot, clipped in off the post. Haircut, I don't know about that, but
The mop.
yep, the little mop streak, you got the blonde streak going, got
Yep.
a little fro hawk going. But this guy, man, I love his game. I love the way he plays. If he adds goals to his game, he can definitely play at a bigger club.
Is Palace done?
No. I listened to the post match, man, and it was Big Sam, and he's been here multiple times.
Yep.
And he was talking about the fear, and like fear it's invisible,
It's
it's
real,
intangible, but it's almost a literal thing, a physical thing. And he's like, yeah, the fear, like you can feel the fear starting to sink into some of these guys. We might get the drop. And he's like, so he's like, we got to break that. We got to break the mentality and just like play positive football, play beautiful stuff, play the way you're playing, and don't think about it. Be positive.
I liked
But
how
also Steve Mandanda, without this guy in the net, bro, Wayne Hennessy, I thought all 4 goals. He's out with a knee injury. Speroni's on the bench, but without this guy, weak goalkeeping by Hennessy.
I thought. Whoa! I thought you
Welsh
said it.
man.
Like
Hennessy was good at one point.
Defoe, he's not bad,
Yeah.
but he had a shit game. Mandanda is a French international,
His first goal,
84 in FIFA.
that
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Good shot.
that first goal, Jermaine Defoe's first goal with the left foot. Look, pretty clinical finish, right? But it's like a top
near
class
post.
goalkeeper can make that special save.
I mean, it's Crystal Palace, so not a top class, but it's like it's a savable shot.
Yeah.
And when you're scrapping and like your defense is relying on you, right before halftime, you give up 2. I don't know, quick touch, but
But
Hennessy, man.
I do like how Big Sam, when they asked about like the fans getting aggravated, he's like, I agree with them. I thought they were gonna get mad. Oh, I mean, even get more madder. Just like
As
even
he's
more
chewing
mad.
his bubble gum.
Yeah, it's just
his
like-
chappies.
It's like I like how
It's
he
tobacco.
he wasn't he was like with the fans. He's like, yeah, we played.
he's such a badass, bro. Big
He's
Sam.
on this road, yeah.
yeah.
Dude, Adnan Januzaj gets 2 assists, puts him on Defoe. Defoe does all the work.
Someone had to make that pass.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get in that position.
Southampton, West Ham, 3-1 West Ham. Saw this one coming, dude. Southampton ain't shit.
I should have seen
They
this
ain't
coming.
shit without fucking Virgil and Font. Dude.
Or Yoshida,
right?
That's it.
Or Yoshida and Stevens.
But they were out too.
No, they were in. But it's like
Yeah, that's what I
but
mean.
it's
Like,
they're
without
not.
Yoshida can maybe get away with it
not
next to
even
Virgil.
Yoshida. Sorry.
Yoshida's pretty solid though. Like
He is, but like
he's not nothing special.
Yeah.
But he's not whack. You
No,
what I mean?
he's
I
not whack,
I wouldn't
but he's
call him
not
a fraud.
I don't think he's enough to stop the onslaught. Put it that way.
I
He's
thought
not special.
Stevens was gonna be my, fantasy, a little sneaky fantasy pick at 4. Like,
Oh yeah, it was Yoshida and Stevens.
Yeah.
But I mean, like they're good backups, but they play with Van Dijk or they play with Font. You play them
Exactly.
together, but at the same time, you need games, you need weeks
Yeah,
to
you need
develop
time.
that chemistry.
Yep.
And right now they're fucked. I don't know why. I didn't see this coming.
Dude, Payet was the
Defense is
greatest.
gone.
Dude, ever since Payet declared he's not going to play for West Ham anymore,
Playing
this
great.
team has just banded together, responded, sort of insulted by Payet's nose in the air. Guy like Pedro Obiang, he's starting to ball out a bit.
Got a little lucky with his goal, but
He
hey,
did.
man, he's been playing a lot for him lately.
Low and hard.
I'm happy for him, man.
Yeah, man, Lanzini comes off the bench, doesn't do too much, but either way, man, I wasn't happy with Lanzini not starting, but they find a way to get all 3 points away from home too.
Andy Carroll. Can't come from behind victory. They were down 1-0.
Yo,
Yeah.
I mean, there's been
Kinda
reports.
He's on fire.
There's been reports about Antonio
I'm back, Liverpool.
over the summer, maybe going to Chelsea. I would not be surprised because Antonio has played everywhere, dude.
You're
Gonna
right
ruin him, dude.
in the reports and everything, but don't
Chelsea.
Don't go to Chelsea, man.
Not Chelsea.
Honestly, I honestly don't think he's technical enough.
Not even
Think
close.
about it. You have
To go
Aki
to
and
Chelsea.
Antonio coming on for Moses and Alonso when they need rest. Those are 2 workhorses coming on for 2 workhorses.
Here's the difference. Ake is a center back who is technical.
Center back, left back.
Yeah, he's very versatile. Antonio, you said it yourself. He's not the best dribbler. I see him as
I think Antonio could cover for
He's
Victor
a battle-
Moses.
he's
If
a
Victor
battle
Moses gets
act.
hurt.
You're right. He could cover, but why go to a big club just to sit on the bench?
Well, because he
Here it
wants to be.
comes.
No, he might want to go to top 4. He might want to win the league. You never know, but you don't know with Antonio. He might just say, you know what, I want to feel
the
that
money.
experience.
This is a crazy
Yeah,
breakout
money
year
too.
for him.
You
Put
could.
in one more year, Antonio, I think, in a club where you're going to start. You're going to be the premier guy even. You're going to play center
gotta-
forward sometimes.
You got to get a bidding war going.
Yeah, and
That's
then
how you
leave.
leave the club. Because
Yeah,
then you
man.
get 2 or 3 clubs looking for you. That's the way to leave.
But-
Not hoping that one club you're hoping to go to comes in and rescues you.
But the thing is,
be thirsty.
you just said how Antonio, he's going to be like the main guy. He's going to play center forward sometimes. He's also going to play some left mid sometimes.
Not
He's
at
also going to
Chelsea,
play
dude.
some
You
right
really-
back sometimes. But at West Ham, he's playing all over the board. Sometimes
You know
like
why
he just
Aaron,
wants.
Aaron Cresswell gets hurt. Payet
But-
throws up a bitch fit. Andy Carroll was hurt. And then they got rid of Sacco, who was
Yes,
playing
he-
center forward.
Yeah, dude,
so
there are
they
certain-
needed him to play
There are
those
certain
positions.
players. There are certain players who are playing exactly where they should be. Antonio, I don't think has the footwork to get into a top 4 club.
No.
He just doesn't. I think
he won't.
West Ham is having a bad year, but West Ham's usually a team finishing maybe 8th to 6th, depending. Like they're in
On a
that
good-
window.
in a good
I think
year.
that's a perfect club for him. Defoe maybe could play a little higher at a certain club, but I think again Sunderland's a perfect club for Defoe. Like there's certain players who even when they're playing well, it doesn't mean that it's time for them to move up.
And granted, we saw with Juan Mata, this is a different example
Juan.
due to the manager, Jose, and however that happened. He wins EPL, well,
Player of the
Chelsea,
year.
Chelsea Player of the Year. Has a tremendous year with Chelsea, wins the title. Then the next year, not so hot. Then he ends up leaving for Man United. Has a troubling time trying to struggle under Moyes and LVG. It's like, all right, is he going to get sold now? Mourinho comes in. So, like, dude, sometimes it's better just the grass isn't always greener.
No, I fully agree with you on that
Grass
part.
isn't always
But,
greener.
but a lot of times we see those players go.
You do. But
Yeah, and
this
then
would
you
be a
never
mistake,
hear of
in
them.
my opinion.
Jack Rodwell, what happened to his
I
career?
mean, Victor Moses is probably one of the very, very, very few people that actually stick with the team and really break through.
Cinderella
What
story.
Yeah.
Boom.
And Ake is hoping for the same thing. He's saying hopefully more players can grind it out like me, Chelsea Youth Academy, make it to the first team, and get bought back and like with purpose. So it's like he's definitely going to factor in.
Definitely.
So it's a rarity, but it can happen.
Good to see Mark score. Mark Noble. I know you're always shitting on him.
I'm not always shitting on him. I think
about
he's a West.
the fact that he didn't make the Euro
I
Championship.
think he's a West Ham player.
He got a
all,
little
man.
lucky in his goal. Got a deflection, I believe, from Reed.
He's just a hardworking
goal.
West Ham player.
Own goal.
He's like a Gareth Barry
Take it.
with a little more offensive ability.
He's Scotty Parker, ex-West Ham
Yeah.
captain. Or not West Ham. Yeah, it was West Ham.
West Ham captain, Spurs player.
Spurs, West Ham. He won PFA of the year, and he was like, they finished like second half of the table.
Why'd you leave, bruh?
Dude, 'cause he had like one good year, and then why'd he leave?
One hit wonder.
There you go, 1 year.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
anyway.
So are we on to West Brom Stoke? I mean, it's quick touch.
I
We
mean,
got to
we're
get out
on
of here
to-
for the Super Bowl, baby.
On to Watford. Watford Burnley 2-1. Deeney just abuse at the back post, showing his size, just laying his rolls on the defender, just winning that header. What a beast! Absolute beast,
What a week for Watford. You
dude.
can,
Watford.
Balling.
what are they? They're like moose or something? Moose knuckles? Whatever the hell. they
Elks,
are.
I think.
I don't know
Elks.
if the moose knuckles.
Oh, they're on the slide. They're on the slide. Bap,
Two-
bap.
Couple of 2-1, couple of 1-2, 2-1 victories for them. Well done to Watford, man. But I gotta say, Mbai Niang, the low knee from AC Milan.
What a
just
glancing header, huh?
Yeah, just needs a manager who believes in him. He's a guy we've known about since he was about 18, 19 years old.
Yep.
Tremendous work rate, and he gets himself a goal and an assist in this game. So Mbai Niang, I don't think AC Milan should have sold him, and I think they made a mistake with that since they're struggling currently. But well done to him, man. Good
Yeah.
to see him actually doing work.
And then we got West Brom, Stoke City, 1-0. West Brom at home, man. Clean sheets for days.
You
Always.
can guarantee it.
Yep.
What I say, if West Brom is playing at home, pick up the West Brom defenders.
I got Ben
Macaulay
Foster, bro.
and Brent.
I got Niam, 4.3.
Good old Macaulay, man.
Macaulay, 7 puntos, bro. Just ringing
Yeah,
it in.
I got Macaulay
Jeez,
early,
Matty-
dude. He
Matty
was like
Phillips didn't do
$5.
shit.
Yeah, no. I was
Yeah,
disappointed.
Matty. Yeah, I
He's been
think
taking a little
didn't
nap.
he
Wait, he's
just
not-
missed or something, right?
Wait, he's higher than 5 right now? I thought he was.
Matty Phillips.
No.
Macaulay.
Macaulay. He should be at 4.9. I thought he started out at 4.7
I don't know.
or 4.5. Then he kept
What
going
are you
up.
doing with that bottle?
I don't know.
And then
crusting
wrapping
it
up from around the world real
crusting it
quick,
up.
the results. Barcelona played Atletico Bilbao, played a whole bunch of scrubs. They won 3-0. We got Bayern Munich hosting Schalke. Bayern Munich ties Schalke 1-1. We got Monaco Nice, battle of number 1 versus number 2. Monaco wins 3-0 against Nice. Statement
Shut them
game.
down. Bro, whoever's playing Monaco is in trouble.
Yeah.
You're in deep shit, bro. I'm telling you.
And then you got Juventus and Inter. Juventus win 1-0. TCB and basically just
Tough.
cruising.
It's an automatic win. Massimo Allegri and Massimo Allegri basically taking the fruits of the labor of Antonio Conte, just adopting a well-engineered
Talking about
squad.
Arsenal's next manager.
Nope, I hope not.
And then
AFCON.
real quick, I'm sorry, Tom.
Tom.
Sorry, Tom. Real
Hope
quick, in a Portuguese derby, FC Porto beating Sporting 2-1. Love FC Porto. That's my Portuguese team. Shout out Benny McCarthy. What up?
Casillas had a 93rd minute save.
It was a special
It was
one, huh?
crazy, bro. It was like low in the bottom corner. Got there.
Still got it.
Guy still got it, man. I love him. Great guy.
Legend.
Ika.
Eaker. Saint Eaker.
All right, Tom. Go ahead. AFCON.
AFCON. Bro, Mohamed El Nani, the Arsenal man, the Guna, gets it going in the 22nd minute. Near post roofer, Egypt against Cameroon.
Nice goal.
It's all looking good for the Pharaohs, until the abominable Lions come back. And Nicolas Ngulu, a couple of class plays here, plays in Ligue 1. I believe very, very heavily linked with Marseille, and a Marseille rider. Ngulu gets that goal in the 59th. Then Vincent Aboubakar. What a match. 88th
Aboubakar.
minute, bro. 88th minute. I think this guy is going to play at a bigger club. Not sure about top 4, as we like to say here, but I think he is destined for bigger and brighter things. Vincent Aboubakar in the 88th minute to make it 2-1 for Cameroon.
Love it.
And it seems like a golden class for the abominable Lions. Samuel Eto'o somewhere, partying and dancing and grinding.
Somewhere on a yacht, spending that Russian money.
That's
that,
what I'm saying.
Makalan
Yeah,
money.
spending that Anzi Machakala money. But what a great win for Cameroon.
Good for them,
Congratulations. Shout out.
What about Rigabeer too? They did it for Rigabeer.
Rigabeer's song, man. He's been
Almost died a couple of times, dude.
He's had a couple of strokes, I believe. I randomly talked with this guy at like the call center at BC. I think his name's Ansels. something like that. So look, dude, if you're listening to the podcast, shout out to you, man.
Cameroon.
It sucks. You're
Shout
a
out to my
Man U
boy
fan.
Carl Tagger. Tagger getting in there with the indomitable Lions.
This is a huge win, man. So congrats to Cameroon. Maybe next time, Pharaohs.
Anything else, fellas? Super Bowl.
Super
Yeah,
Bowl,
let's get
baby.
it, Tom
Tom Brady.
I was just trying to find the redhead dude that's on Cameroon. Oh my god, hysterical! I love this guy. I'm gonna post a picture of this dude. Have you seen him?
But yeah, anyway.
Oh, I gotta bring this guy.
Yeah,
up.
for people listening on Monday, this is Sunday. Super Bowl's about to start. Patriots versus Falcons.
Come on, you.
Tom Brady trying to make
Pats.
cats.
Pats.
Oh, Pats. I was gonna say. There you go. Yeah, Hussey got the dude
Yeah,
from the
I got
Cavs.
the screenshot of the dude.
But yeah, man, Tom Brady's set to make history.
So, other than that, Farid wants to talk about that. And then also Paul Pierce. This is for the NBA fans a little bit. Paul Pierce, it's his last game in Boston. He's not on Boston right now, but this is the last time he came to the Garden to play a game in his career.
The Garden.
The Garden. So the truth is going to be Dunzo. Then also Messi passes Koeman for 27 free kicks for Barca. And then he wrote Lukaku.
Yeah,
Lukaku has...
Dude,
Don't stumble over this one.
Yeah,
Lukaku has scored more goals than Liverpool this year.
I don't know.
act
I
like
gotta
you couldn't
check
read.
that one. I gotta check
You
that
act
one.
Like you forgot how to read.
I
for
gotta
a
check
second.
that one because I don't know if that's true.
4 goals the other day.
2017.
Yeah,
he has.
just 2017. I mean,
I don't know.
This
dude.
year.
Yeah. How many?
2017.
No.
Yeah,
how
but
many
you
goals
don't
does?
know.
makes sense.
Dude,
bro.
you scored
guys
you
haven't
scored
won-
one against Plymouth Argyle. You scored.
You haven't won in 2017.
Yeah.
Oh, 20. Okay.
Yeah,
Now I
but
got
Where
it.
we not hear
I-
that?
I-
I said it 3 times.
I know, but
he
I
was in denial. He
He
was in
was.
denial.
Yeah. So also Frank Lampard retires.
Good
Fat
riddance.
Oh
Good riddance.
boy.
Dude, I
Just
love
kidding,
Frank
man.
Lampard.
Legend. Absolutely.
I love
legend.
this guy.
That's one dude that no matter what team you're on, you can't hate.
No.
There was someone was saying Hazard. Someone, I think it was an ex-Chelsea, was like Hazard's the best player in Chelsea's history. I was like, yo, all these tributes
He was
to
a
Frank
commentator.
Lampard coming out. For Frank in the past year, all the tributes. Dude, this guy won it all. He was on the pitch for every cup final, every championship, every title. Like
How about
10 plus
Drogba?
goals.
I
a
think,
season.
I think what the guy
but,
meant.
but Drogba was there, then he left.
Well,
This
yeah,
guy
I
was
think I
there
know
the
what he
whole
meant.
time.
I think what the guy meant was
skill
like,
wise.
yeah, I
But
think
like, but he takes naps. He's not a complete like. I can't
agree
say
with you
Hazard.
in terms of body of work, longevity,
Just
importance
impact.
to the team.
Impact.
statistics, all that importance, captaincy,
Yeah.
all those little things. But if you want to look at a technical player,
Yeah.
right?
That
Like, if you
one
wanna-
category.
in a
If that-
vacuum,
yeah.
like does he have speed? Yes,
But
he's got
even
the speed
even
over him,
still,
he's got the
look,
technique
if you're
over
looking
him.
at even potential, sure, Hazard can't tackle, but Hazard can fuck around and win a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, he's
That's
got-
the
he's got that
potential.
potential.
Frank Lampard
Lampard-
finished second to Ronaldinho, bro. Ronaldinho.
Yeah, so it's not a.
How do you beat Ronaldinho?
So it's not a ridiculous.
You don't.
You don't.
He
So it's
came
not-
that close.
So it's not a ridiculous statement to say they're in the same class, or they could be.
Oh
in
no,
the same
no
class.
doubt.
The big
But, like,
difference-
but in
No,
Chelsea's
it's
history,
the way that commentators
Yeah,
said
it was
it.
like-
Like,
yeah, he
was
said it
so
loosely.
He's been there
final
3
about it.
years.
He said it
bro.
loosely.
last year he
Difference
played
that-
for himself, not the club. So he was a
Yeah.
douchebag.
Yep.
The big thing for me is that when
Absolute bullshit.
when
Let him know,
Chelsea
Al.
started winning, Frank Lampard was there day one when they started winning the
Yeah,
leagues
when they
and
built
the
that team.
Champions League. And yeah, they had some rough times sometimes. But guess what? He was always there. Not like a Hazard who took a nap last year because he didn't like his manager.
Shouts to
Yeah.
Farid with the Harry Houdini video.
That was up
That was
17.
huge.
They're like,
Yeah.
have you signed him because he's
Your
your
nephew and his dad's the coach.
He's like, motherfucker, back up.
And how good did he?
Frank Lampard will go on, dude.
He could not have said that any better. And he defended his nephew, defended his player, he defended everything so well. Harry Redknapp, awesome.
I wish they had that reporter on like camera so we can all point at his picture and laugh.
And then also, oh my god, that'd be awesome. Frank Lampard actually tweeted that guy's face.
What if Frank Lampard changed his like Twitter profile picture to that dude?
Oh,
Like his gram photo.
Yeah, those
also
chubby cheeks, man. It's chubby
Torres, 100th goal in La Liga. Did he also
Fernando.
did he also do the robot?
classic Torres slide on the knees.
El
Yeah.
Nino.
Point up.
I dig Torres, man. He was the guy I had a soft spot for in Liverpool. It was painful because he was so good. He was so
lethal.
prolific.
Bro, the volleys,
Oh,
the shooting.
So much
technique
fun.
The
was
hair.
That
unreal.
rosy
The
cheek
flow.
bastard.
Dude, he had great flow.
Looked like
Yeah.
such a
The
little
blonde
boy.
hair.
He looked like he
I don't know
looked
what
like
he
he
was like
belonged
a
in like
woman, but a
Backstreet
boy.
Boys or
Like,
something.
Yeah.
That's why they call him El Nino. You know, the kid.
Yeah, little baby face. Anything else, fellas?
I got
Nope.
nothing.
Cool.
CLNS, just want to shout them out.
Yeah, we'll patch it in, man.
No
As
doubt,
always,
man.
dude.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then
man.
We'll talk about fantasy midweek.
Yeah, let's do that.
We're gonna do a
we
big.
heard you.
Yeah.
Who was it? Gertz? Joey Gertz?
No,
or was it,
Brimcat.
Keith looking for some heat. Yeah, we see you, bro. We'll
Because he's
catch you
tip of the
midweek.
table.
That's why.
Yeah, we got a lot of talking to do on Wednesday about that.
Tip of
Because,
that
or
beer.
Thursday for you guys, but man, fantasy is just getting out of control for me.
Nah.
I am in our league. I am the. You just fought there. I am our Liverpool in our fantasy league. Man, I'm just.
Yeah, that's
No,
what we're
no, no, no,
saying.
no, no.
You're
You're
the
not.
same form.
You're not
You're
catching
sliding
me.
real
You're
life.
not catching me. I'm catching you. I'm going down,
I'm
dude.
catching you, bro.
Dude, it's.
I'm getting up there.
And then Wayne's Pateri. Great weekend for you, dude. Well done.
Fuck
You
my
said
man.
that reluctantly, Huss.
Yeah.
You said
No,
you said
hey,
that
you know what?
very
I'm gonna give him
reluctant.
props. Wayne Violence. I mean, dude. I mean, when you do it well, man. Hey, gotta give props.
All right, go Pats.
Go Pats.